Greetings, everyone. And welcome to a very special Mono E Monster edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party! Monstrous! It's huge! It's fantastic! It's mysterious.
It gets better all the time.
Yeah.
All right, well, here we are, and guess what?
What?
I'm Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James GONIS.
And for our topic for this show,
We're going to get right into it.
we are going to revisit one of our favorites, right?
And a very popular topic with the listeners.
That's right. So the topic for this show is...
What is it?
Who would win Volume 4?
Who would win Volume 4?
Yeah!
Part 4, The Crackdown.
Will you introduce me already? The special guest. I'm trying to be good, and I'm waiting for you.
And, okay, all right.
I think you already know who our guest is.
Back by popular demand.
Yes. A very good friend of mine, an actor and comic supreme,
Known as
the Pitbull of Comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Slayton.
Bobby Slayton!
By the way, when you said earlier, I think it was Larry said it's a very popular segment with your listeners. I didn't know you had listeners, or I would have prepared more for the show if I knew there were listeners.
Oh, we have
involved.
listeners now. You didn't know that?
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
You know,
Yeah, we got
I
it.
don't know what you've heard, but we've had quite a few listeners. So
Yeah.
So this is, I think, my third time on the show. Maybe
Yes.
third, maybe. Who's been on the show more than me?
Who has been?
'Cause I feel like the Alec Baldwin,
maybe-
Steve Martin of SNL.
I think
like the most-
possibly Dana Gould's been on 5
Yeah,
times.
I think Dana's been on
Maybe-
quite a few.
maybe the top.
And also if you include Monster Palooza, too.
Yeah.
Right. Which Bobby was
Which
in also.
you were on, too. So I guess
Yeah.
that would be fourth.
Kind
then,
of
right?
fourth, yeah.
By
David
the way,
Moyer.
your new digs, your new podcast studio, I got to say, is decorated very nicely. Got some nice things in here.
Yes, we had some very lovely artifacts donated from the Slayton collection.
Right, and I think I
right.
might have some more, but I think you should maybe put a little sign like the Bobby Slayton Memorial Room or something. And that way, when people come over, if they happen to know him, they go, Bobby Slayton's dead, and you should know just his career. That's why he does on the show.
How about Slayton Corner?
You know, I did
The Slayton Nook.
I did the Tonight Show once. They never had me back. I did Conan once. I did Fallon once. It's the only show that had me on more than once.
See, we know what we're doing.
You know
right.
exactly.
You see,
right.
we know a good thing when we see it.
That's right.
Like, can I start off the show? I know it's not my show, but with a confession.
Go
okay?
ahead. Why not?
It's my
every time
show.
Matt asked me to do the show, he goes, we're going to make it very Slayton-centric. We'll talk about things that you know about. You'll be very comfortable on the show. And what I want to say, remember when, Matt, you had that great show on the Playboy channel? And
Yes, yeah.
That was a great
Good
show.
times.
And I would come in very well prepared. I would have, remember how prepared I would
Yeah,
come in?
yes.
I had stuff. I had
Yeah,
notes. I took it
yeah.
very seriously.
You had copy.
Every part I've ever done in any movie, TV show, I drive myself crazy because I know every line. I want to make sure that I'm always there early. I'm never late. I never make a mistake.
You're very
And
professional.
I've got to say, I've drove myself crazy the last 2 days trying to come up with stuff.
That's
for today.
surprising.
I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you what's really hard about it. When you first told me about it,
Right.
So it's called Who Would Win?
Who would
That was
win?
it. Okay, so when you said who would win, and I said it sounded really great, and then you said to me, it's like that school game. First of all, when I was at school, I hated games. And right there, I go, this is not looking good for me. I don't like games of any kind. I remember when I was in my 20s and Trivial Pursuit came out, and I do some coke, and after about 20 minutes, I go, this is a stupid fucking game. No more Trivial.
I don't really like games either.
I don't
Wait,
like
you didn't like Trivial Pursuit?
I liked it about 20 minutes. So I
yeah,
can't-
that's where I'm at. I stopped caring about 20 in.
So when you said to me, okay, it's like Predator versus Alien, who would win, and even though they did a movie like that,
Sure, right.
Freddy and Jason,
Yeah, yes.
you try to just lay out the ground rules and
Right, yeah.
and they've done that already. So then you sent me the list of all 3 shows, 4 shows, three
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 shows.
shows,
yeah.
yeah, right.
And no, okay, shows you how bad I am with monsters. Let me tell you one more quick story. I'll turn the show over to you guys. Okay.
This is all good.
Famous Monsters, number 21 was the first one I had, 1963. It was a color cover with Karloff and the Bride. I think you have a
Yes.
picture of that in your house.
That's a
Yeah,
nice
uh-huh,
one.
yeah.
I was 8 years old, And I saw this magazine, and I opened it up. I go, I've seen almost all these movies because in New York, WNEW, WPIX, you know, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, and the Saucerman, and every movie. So by the third or fourth issue that I read, I walked around school when I was 10 years old going, I've seen every horror movie ever made. I think Metropolis I never saw, and The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari because they never showed them on television.
Sure.
Right.
But I had nothing to brag about at 10. I couldn't play sports. I wasn't getting girls. I've seen every horror movie. So I've always been a fan of horror films. You know that.
Yes.
But when I come in here and I sit with you guys, I feel like I know nothing. The one thing that I've always known, I'm like the kid in high school who's like the football player, the quarterback, hanging around with sixth graders. I'm a big shot. But when I come in here with the big leaguers, I feel like a loser. So my point was, those sheets you sent me with all the shows you did, Godzilla versus Mothra, and a couple of them I knew. But
that's
I'm
good.
reading all these things, I know nothing about monsters. And some of the names were vague.
Vague?
But some of them, we go through the list and go, I know who this guy is, but I don't know what he did. I don't know what his superpowers were. So then I start thinking, I got to come up with something. And I'm going Wonder Woman and Submariner. And I go, well, first of all, they're not monsters. They're comic
But you
books.
can do that.
okay.
That's
You
a
can
genre.
superheroes
It's
is fine.
sci-fi.
Yeah, but that's
fine.
Comic-Con. This is
But
Monster Balloons.
we did Batman. We did
Yeah,
superheroes.
Superman.
Right.
Hulk.
But I don't want to
Superheroes are
sink
fine.
that low. That's
I'm going to sink there. So,
And understand, not everyone who listens to our show is like Mr. Monster. I mean, we got people who love comics and fantasy.
yeah,
and
but that's not me.
magic.
I like monsters.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
It's like going on a sex show and talking about menage a trois with 3 men and a horse. I don't want, and then there's other people out there that
Wait,
do that.
hold on.
I like to talk about broads. It's the dumbest analogy I've ever made. But anyway, so for the last 2 days, my point is, gentlemen, the last 2 days, I'm going through all these names. I'm going, okay, Submariner and Wonder Woman. I go, I don't even know.
that's a good one. Do you have that on your
interesting,
list?
actually.
No,
That's a good one.
But it's good, but I don't even know what they did. I've never seen Wonder Woman. I don't.
You know
Whoa,
it.
whoa,
Come
you know what
on.
Wonder Woman
She
does.
spins around. And
She does spin around, yes.
That's true.
That's all I know. I've
She
never
used
seen
to.
You know she has a lasso, right?
The what?
The lasso, the
Yes.
magic lasso.
I don't even know what that is.
No.
See, that's okay. Let me tell
We'll
you.
walk you through it. We'll help you.
Let me tell you how.
We'll help you with your choices.
What the hell are you doing here, sir?
I might not be a smart man, but I know what horror is. Okay, now Submariner. When I was a kid, I read all the comic books, but I haven't read them in many years.
Except Wonder Woman.
Okay,
And Submariner.
I know he went underwater, but I don't know what
Yeah,
he did.
he's kind of like he's the Marvel version of Aquaman, right?
But,
I
but
mean,
stronger. He was
yeah,
it was like a
cooler,
cooler,
actually.
stronger
And
Aquaman.
he has black trunks.
But that was my problem the
He didn't
last 2 days,
black
fellas,
trunks.
to
He
try
had
to
green
come up
trunks.
with things because I everything you either came up with or it's been done. Or I don't know. Then I
you
would
can
have to go
give
with
your
the internet
own
now. and say,
angle
what
to
does
it.
Submariner do? I don't have time for this shit.
Say some names. We'll give you a quick tutorial on what they do.
Right.
And then we'll go
Yeah.
from there.
But then I thought of
This is
things
all
like
You're
theoretical.
overthinking it.
I overthink everything. But then I thought Bride of Frankenstein versus Bride of Chucky. And then, well, first of all, Bride of Frankenstein, she's not a
That's
monster.
good.
That's a great one.
That's not a great one.
Okay.
That's a great one.
No, it's not because Bride of Frankenstein, all she did was come back to life and she hissed at him and she wouldn't put out and he blew up the castle.
But you know,
Wait, whoa, wait a
these
minute.
are
Wait a minute.
these are theoretical pairings.
Yeah.
It's like fan fiction.
Where'd you
It's
take
like
that mind?
We're
Yeah,
taking those characters, putting them in a room, and they have to fight.
Yes.
Who would
Yeah.
win?
Just
It's
expand
like-
your
it's-
horizon.
it's
Use your imagination.
Yeah, okay.
Write your own scenario.
Your fan fiction. Let's say if that Bride of Frankenstein who
Make it
hisses
slash
and goes,
fiction.
Larry, why didn't you give me this pep talk before we got here?
I'm just saying. Let's say, okay, look. Here's this room. Look, no. Imagine. Listen, they
right,
throw
okay.
in Elsa Lanchester. They put her in there, and she's in
Okay,
her
wait a
right-
minute. Is it the Bride of Frankenstein?
It's Bride
or
of
is it
Frankenstein.
Elsa
Bride.
Lanchester.
No. It's the bride.
You throw in Elsa Lanchester, I think I know who's gonna lose.
Look, I'm trying to help this poor man. Okay, I'm trying to give him a visual picture in his mind.
All
So
right.
she gets in this room. She's looking around, and all of a sudden you throw in the Bride of Chucky. So now they're both in a room. So these
the
two.
Bride of Frankenstein, and she's already dead.
No, she's
Well,
not dead.
but she's
dead,
alive.
yet alive.
But can she be killed by
Great
just
movie, by the way.
like,
I've seen
stabbed?
that.
I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
here's the okay. Is this your? Are you throwing this at me now? Are you throwing it? Is that your first one? Bride of Frankenstein, Bride of Chucky. Okay, go. Okay.
No, I just, all these things that come into my mind.
We need to start this at some point.
Yeah, because that's a great one. You're
Do you wanna go with that?
You're just shitting all over this, and it's a great one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we revisit that in a moment? But let me go back to the list. Okay, the list you had some really stupid shit on there. Okay,
But that's our show.
okay,
That's the idea.
Wait. There's some
Who's
very
like- let me
intelligent
ask-
stuff.
Okay,
in
let me
there.
ask you this.
Okay.
Okay, when you have Mighty Mouse versus Superman.
That was mine. That was a great one.
That's a great one.
Now, don't they? Now, I remember watching Mighty Mouse, and of course, I watched Superman. Weren't they the exact same things?
No, because one's a mouse,
Right.
and one has
Is a man.
One has a problem with kryptonite.
That's
and
right.
the other one does not.
We don't even know
Yeah,
if
yeah.
Mighty Mouse has
what were
anything.
what were his weaknesses?
Yeah.
Mighty
What,
Cheese.
cheese?
Yeah.
Cheese traps.
Right.
The stick-on ones.
Oh, so what? You put cheese in a trap, and Mighty Mouse is going to fall for it and go, "Ow! I've got my tail bent." No, he's Mighty Mouse.
Flooded sewers.
And where's Mighty Mouse getting kryptonite from? That's what I want to know. Like Lex Luthor could find it, but where's the hell
If-
Mighty Mouse getting?
Maybe he went to Lex Luthor and said, "Look, I need some help. I'll help you take down Superman, but you got to get me some kryptonite."
Is this what you discussed on the show?
Yes, yeah.
You think those people are still listening?
Yeah.
Well, look, I
love it.
Superman
No.
he's least going to expect an enemy coming from a tiny flying super mouse.
Right.
Okay, now I'm sorry, I'm going to butt in here because I don't think Mighty Mouse would be quite so evil as to go to Lex Luthor and go, "Hey, I need you to help me take down Superman."
Maybe he doesn't know that Lex Luthor is evil.
No, he does because he's
a
Mighty
mouse.
Mouse. He's Mighty
He
Mouse.
hangs out with other mice. He's not
Yeah,
used to
It would be the
evil
rodent,
geniuses.
the rodent version of Lex Luthor. It would be like Rick Rat in the Mighty Mouse universe.
I
like that.
would say Mighty Mouse would do his research. He'd
Lex
go to the
Rodent.
library and he would know. He'd study up. He'd find out that Superman has this problem, and he would go out
Okay,
into
wait a
outer
minute.
space.
How
and
is
he'd find...
how is Mighty Mouse going to get in the library? You can't get a library card if you're a mouse.
But see, here's the thing, Matt. You can go into the library. You don't have to check anything out. You can go to the library, take any book off the shelf. You can read it, and then when you're done, you just put it back.
What happens when a mouse shows up on the table at the library?
But Matt, he's-
somebody
no.
gets a book and it's like Willard. Someone grabs a broom and boom, done.
no,
now
'cause he's
you're
wearing an
gonna be
outfit.
on the
He's wearing an
losing
outfit.
end of that fight because you do that to Mighty Mouse and you will have to pay.
First of all, I will two things. One, Mighty Mouse is wearing an outfit. Number one. Number two, everyone knows who Mighty Mouse is. Mighty Mouse comes in, they're all going to go, "Oh, look, it's Mighty Mouse." And Mighty Mouse goes, "Here I come to read some books." And that's
just
what he would
cost
do.
us so much money.
No, I'm just saying. So anyway,
I'm sorry I brought this up.
no, you think it's a stupid idea. I think it's. I'm going to say, Matt. I thought it was a genius.
What- how do you like
what
that?
conclusion did we come to for that one? 'Cause
We
I
agreed
remember.
that Mighty Mouse would win.
Okay.
And the reason why, and I'm a big Superman fan, understand?
Yeah.
It was because Mighty Mouse would find out about the kryptonite
Okay,
and use
right.
it somehow and make Superman go, "Oh, I'm dying," or whatever. And so,
Yeah.
because Mighty Mouse, as far as we know, didn't have anything that could make him weak.
Hey, by the way, and I should remember this because I grew up watching Mighty Mouse. He wasn't like Clark Kent where he was like a regular mouse during the day, was he? Like going to work?
No, he was always
always
Great
Mighty
Metropolitan
Mouse.
And that's
newspaper.
another thing. That's another thing in his favor because he doesn't have to hide. He doesn't have to worry about his secret identity being revealed or anything like that.
True. Yeah.
He can just
Well, since
do what
you
he
guys
does.
seem to know everything about monsters, I love Superman. Let me ask you a question. And
Okay.
I know you guys are going to know this. And if not, Larry will just make up some bullshit. Yell at us till we agree with him so he shuts up. But how come Superman had to have a secret identity? How come he couldn't be Superman all the time?
right.
Do you know why?
Yes,
Oh, Larry does,
it's
of course.
obvious. It is obvious.
Here we go.
Why?
First of all, by being a newspaper reporter in one of the most influential, most popular newspapers on the planet,
Right.
he's able to be, he's right there where all the news comes in so he can hear and see what's going on around the world so he can be aware of it.
But can't he just fly around with X-ray vision and just see what's going on?
Could he just
no,
read
no.
the Daily Planet? Could he just read the paper?
Okay, may I ask a question?
Go
so-
to the library?
No, you guys are so knowledgeable about Superman. Can he read minds?
No.
No, he cannot. So he can't look into your mind and figure out what's going on.
Right.
But
he
what
can talk to
do,
people.
What he can do, Matt, is by being at the newspaper, he can see and find out what's going on all over the world. If there's some kind of big problem in Afghanistan or Iceland or Hong Kong or something, he can go, "Oh, I got to go there." And
But Bobby has hit upon a very important point, which is that couldn't he just read the paper?
Right. Or don't you think Perry
No.
White would have given him an office? Superman, you want an office? We have an office.
No, Perry White had issues with Superman. Don't you remember? He had issues with Superman. And also, getting back to, well, he can read the paper the next day.
Right.
That's not immediate. If he's there in the newsroom, Matt, he hears when it just happens.
But he has super hearing too, so he can hear things. All he has to do is just fly around. He can fly around the world in seconds. So he could go to all the hot spots in the world, and he'd be a better reporter than just hanging out in the office getting coffee.
But also, one thing against the whole secret identity too is like, I mean, in real life, in the real world, there's
Yes, Sean.
there's no way that you couldn't tell that Clark Kent was Superman.
Thank you.
No.
Same with Wonder
No.
Woman. Same with Wonder
Yes.
Woman.
I
I'm
know,
talking about
I
real
totally-
life.
no.
No matter how many incarnations of movie and TV,
Yep.
if you see a guy put on glasses, oh, who's that? Like,
Hey,
there's
Superman,
no way.
why are you wearing
But
a costume?
I buy it when in the movies. Like I think Christopher Reeve did a great job of playing both characters.
Yes.
Suspension of disbelief, I get it, but-
there is always that suspension. Unlike Batman, who wears a mask, if he doesn't wear a
Right.
mask, all he does is change his hair and put on glasses. In real life,
And not
there's
even really
no
his
way.
hair.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he also there's a
You're telling me
personality.
that you will not be able to tell.
No way.
No, I
way.
would.
You
know
are
what,
the most
because
gullible.
No, because you guys are forgetting.
Wow.
He was
I
kind
do
of-
not
he was
trust my
kind-
life
No.
in any way with you.
No, listen,
because you
Matt.
will get me killed.
I'm not going to get you.
You
killed.
will get me killed. Yeah, like that's the person who is the evil villain, has their secret personality, and they're walking around with glasses. And I'm going,
Look.
like, that's the evil guy. You're like, no, it couldn't be.
No, if
he's
you
wearing
said-
glasses.
If you said something like that, I would say, "Oh, those hooligans you recall," and we would keep away from them. I'm not going to endanger your life.
This has
I'm just saying, no. Let's give this the proper respect.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know James wants to say something about this.
Yes.
I actually do.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying that I think the personality, the way he carries himself, the way he lowers his shoulders,
Yeah.
he doesn't
Yeah, no,
come off like
completely.
Superman
no,
at all.
it fools everyone. You're right.
Look,
Nonsense.
If Superman were created today, there probably wouldn't be an alter ego. But I think the reason Siegel and Schuster did it that way back in the day, is so it would be like a fantasy projection, like the weakling.
Sure.
Oh, this is who I really am, but I don't want to let anybody know it. But
Like
so,
Caitlyn Jenner, kind of.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's empowerment.
That's not even a good disguise. If Bruce Jenner was the superhero,
Right.
and then the alter ego was, the
Caitlyn?
The chick.
yeah, Caitlyn,
Right.
that it would fool no one.
right.
I don't know.
Wow,
don't
that
know.
says a lot.
Look, you see a picture of Bruce Jenner from the Olympics, and you see a picture of Caitlyn Jenner. I don't know if I'd put one and one together.
That tells me a lot about you, James.
And by the way,
I have to take you on Fleet Week with me.
have you guys done Bela Lugosi's Dracula versus Christopher Lee the Hammer Dracula?
No, we haven't. And is
That's
this
a
your
good one.
second one?
Is that what
That's
you want
a
to
good
do?
one.
No,
Is this your second
because
one?
I don't remember the Hammer one. Then the other thing I thought of was,
What's on your list?
Barnabas, from
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, Dark Shadows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen Dark Shadows.
Okay.
Was it good?
yeah,
It was?
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
you think
for
because
a-
Monster
for a
Guy, I
super
should've-
low budget
I
soap
should have seen
opera.
like one episode at least.
Yeah,
I can't really call myself a Monster Guy
It's
anymore.
the greatest monster soap opera.
It really
ever.
is. Which it didn't start out that way. It would
No.
start out like a gothic
Yes.
romance thing, and
Right.
then it became more and
Maybe
more.
because when I was a kid, I was doing drugs and I don't know what I was doing, but it started out more of a soap than it
Absolutely,
really
Exactly.
absolutely. And then they introduced Barnabas, and then like it totally took off.
Because
And
that
then they-
character was so popular.
And
they
it
got
is
all these letters.
It can be a bit slow moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's a soap
so I
opera.
understand why maybe you might want to.
Well, I love
tune
Buffy.
out.
We had that discussion. You didn't like it. I thought one of the greatest shows in the history of television.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. No.
I love it.
My problem with Buffy is it's not one thing or the other. It's not funny enough. It's not scary enough.
To Matt Weinhold. Now,
Yeah.
now I just want to say, so is this your third one?
No, because
Barnabas?
I just thought of Buffy, and I'm just thinking she beats everybody. No, I
We
don't
have-
have
yeah,
any.
Buffy,
does
Buffy
she?
versus somebody.
Buffy beats everyone?
Well, no, everybody. She's a Slayer. I mean, she always seems to win, which is silly. Nobody can get her, but
Dear God, please pick one. Let's
okay.
start this.
No, I don't want. I told you I don't have anything. I want you guys to
Wait, wait, you have a list. You have a list.
There's no list here.
Oh,
I had. Okay.
Okay, no, don't give me a whole list. Just give us one, and then we go around the table.
Okay.
I
told my
Try
friend,
one out.
Skechers versus Nike. Skechers are a better shoe. Much better. I told my friend from Skechers I'd mention him, and then we can say Skechers, even though your imaginary listeners are weird. But if more people had sketches, they could run away from the monsters. Keep that in mind.
Okay, well, you bring up a very good point.
So Godzilla versus Skechers, because then you could run, oh, Godzilla, and
But
then you run.
didn't Godzilla do a Nike commercial though?
That's
Did he?
true.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Charles Barkley.
Right.
Oh,
That's Godzilla
okay.
versus
Did you remember that? Do you remember that?
See, I don't remember
What?
that.
Charles Barkley, Godzilla, battling it out. Little Nike shoes, huh?
I don't like Nike. I'm a Skechers guy. Okay.
I'm with you.
my
Me
list.
too.
Why do I don't really have a list. Why don't you guys?
Do you want us to start? We'll start.
How about we start? Would you like that? And then you can
I was
participate.
coming up with some really dumb stuff. Spider-Man versus Tarantula, the giant tarantula. Because most spiders.
All right, let's
Okay,
do it.
shall we do this
That's
one?
good.
Oh no, I like that
Okay,
one.
okay.
A superhero
I'm
versus
ready to
giant
go.
monster.
I'm ready to go.
Really?
So there's your thing. Spider-Man versus Tarantula. We're
Nothing
talking about the
is-
19th, the one with John.
The one with Leo
Yeah.
Cicaro.
Yeah.
Nothing is dumb enough for this crowd.
Yes. Right.
Really?
Unless,
Yeah.
of course, it's Pumpkinhead versus the Wampa. Then,
that is
then
What's the
stupid.
Wampa? I don't know what the Wampa is.
He's the,
Empire Strikes Back. You don't remember seeing?
no,
that
he
movie?
didn't see.
don't-
He's
I'm
not a
not a-
sci-fi guy.
I'm not a sci-fi.
He's not a
guy.
sci-fi.
Okay, well,
guy.
let's not even go to that because that
Yes, okay.
gives
You know
me
why
really
I'm not a
bad
sci-fi guy?
feelings.
'Cause I like porn and I get laid.
No.
That's not a sci-fi every time.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
Well, let's
and no ladies like
Porn
Marvel or Star Wars these days.
Porn.
Have you ever seen
Porn
the
versus sci-fi.
number of Leia slave girls at a convention? It will blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it might win you over.
See, now it's hip to be like
Now
us.
it's hip. See,
Now we're the vanguard.
That's
it's
right.
hip
Of
to be
everybody else.
square.
Now, just
right.
speaking of
as
hip,
the immortal Huey Lewis said.
if we could, and I love Huey Lewis, but
I don't, but go
I
ahead.
do.
Huey
you know,
Lewis versus
come on. Can we play this
Yes,
straight?
let's start it. Let's start
Tarantula
it.
versus
Tarantula
Spider-Man.
versus Spider-Man.
I was
Okay,
kinda kidding.
Tarantula, no. We're going with it.
Oh, really? Okay.
okay.
It's your show.
Can I just throw this out?
Go.
Here's what I think. Okay. Understand that tarantula, it's very big and it's very
Very big.
large, okay? But it's got the mind of a little spider. And so it can't really think. Spider-Man would hands down win. He'd run around, he'd
Right.
swing around it and he'd spit his little web out and
You're right.
it'd tangle up the legs. And I think that
right.
Spider-Man would
Oh,
win.
absolutely.
Anyone?
But would his webbing be strong enough to contain the creature? I mean, it's a huge giant.
The tarantula?
That spider has real webbing. He has
Yeah.
a
But he can't do it as
synthetic
fast.
webbing, and it's not as fast.
whoa.
And he runs out of webbing.
Wait a minute.
Which Spider-Man are we talking about?
I
now?
was talking about the Tobey Maguire one, Sam Raimi.
Now,
Nope.
it was not fully explored in the movies, but the Tobey Maguire one, he had organic web shooters that came out of his body.
Yes.
I would think, like any fluid,
Yes.
you'd get to a point where you'd be done, right?
Well,
it happens to the best of us.
No, because he has this superpower where it keeps
No,
yes,
that's
yes.
ridiculous.
No, man.
As an organic creature, eventually, whatever sac that he has inside his body that has web fluid is going to run out.
So-
Every fluid in your body, when you go to the bathroom, you empty your bladder.
Yes.
The same thing's going to happen with a web shooter.
And when you watch porn,
Don't even get it.
stuff comes out.
Oh,
Okay,
man,
all
no.
right. This is
One
great.
go, and that's it for the day.
This is great, but look, are you saying that Spider-Man has to put this giant tarantula in a giant web sack?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about webbing.
He could. What? He spits a couple webs. Oh, I'm done. I have no more web. No, Matt.
You're
he would.
putting words in my
I'm
mouth,
just
Larry.
because what you're saying
What?
is ridiculous.
No, I'm saying
he could web. He could shoot his web at all the little legs of the giant tarantula and get the tarantula. Oh, I'm stuck.
But maybe since that spider is so big and huge and strong, it would be strong enough to break the webbing.
But wouldn't the spidey sense be an advantage to Spider-Man?
Now we're talking, James.
Because of the
you have hit
tarantula.
on something. The spidey sense.
He would actually be one step ahead of the tarantula because he has the spidey sense.
True.
That
But here- that's a good
that would
point.
be
But
the edge.
here's Spider-Man's weakness, because Spider-Man is one of those Marvel characters. He's one of the new breed. He's the superhero character that has girlfriend trouble,
Angst. Yeah, teen
and he's
angst.
worried about his job
Acne.
and his Aunt May, right? And do people like him? Because everybody hates Spider-Man in his universe.
Yeah.
So he's got that stuff always going behind his head as he's fighting this giant spider. And so what if there's a moment of weakness? He's like, my homework. And then the spider just goes,
No.
Right.
You're fighting a giant spider, and you're actually going to think about something else. Why the giant spider
it's
is
due.
No, you're not. You are going to
It's-
think only about that spider. Bobby, help me out here. Well, if you were Spider-Man, are you going to be thinking about anything else? Why that giant spider is attacking the town or whatever? No.
Take it home, Bobby.
You'd want to save the town.
Yeah, I want to sit down, but I'm still thinking about. You mentioned the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. When I don't know why you don't go with the real Spider-Man, the original Marvel comics. And not every kind of permutation. Like when you're talking about Superman, to me, it's always the Superman comics, not the Christopher Reeve Superman. How many Batmans are there now? The Dark Knight. The first movie with Michael Keaton, maybe the first two I liked, and then there were how many Batmans were there, and how many different Dark Knights, and how many? It doesn't stop. So you got to pick one. But you guys like to do that. You like to take the Michael Keaton Batman versus the comic book Batman. That's part of the
sometimes
game.
we
Or the
do.
Christian Bale
Sometimes
Batman,
we do.
which I really like.
I would say all those Batmans are very similar. They all have a Batmobile. They all use technology. They're rich. They have the alter ego. And so that's consistent. I would even say that when it comes to the comic book Superman, unless we're talking about the very first issue.
Right.
Where he jumps
right.
instead of flies.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't actually fly?
He can leap a tall building
In a single bound.
Oh, okay.
He never really flew. He was more like the Hulk
Right,
in
okay.
comics
Okay.
where he
Really?
would jump around. Yeah. But later on, they decide he can fly. Okay. So all the same rules are at play in the Christopher Reeve movies, right? Whereas Spider-Man, it's all over the place. Not all over the place, but a little bit.
There's
Like,
organic webbing versus mechanical.
and the mechanical stuff, I would think, would have more of a problem because, like, we don't know really what it's made out of, what its limitations are. We know in the comics that it works most of the time, but there's so many stories where he runs out of web fluid.
Right.
And he's going across the city and thwip, nothing.
That's right. I can see that happening.
That
if
could
he's,
be
if
a
he's trying
problem.
to cover the giant.
What
tarantula.
if the spider was on the other end of town? So he's got to go all the way through the city using his web shooter to get there. He finally gets there. He's out of web fluid.
No, wait, let me ask you something. Why can't he just take a taxi and save the web? Let's Uber it over or walk over or drive over. He's got to have a car.
In Manhattan, it's going to take him 2 hours to get across.
See,
town.
here's another thing. Okay, look.
Thank you,
and
James. Once again, voice of reason.
With all due respect, Matt, I mean, what you're saying
don't mean
is
that.
yes, I do. It's Matt, what you bring up I think is ludicrous because it's like, oh, I'm going to use all my web fluid trying to get across town. Matt, it's like he shoots a strand, it hits a building, and he swings, and then he lets go, and he flies, and gets another web. It's like he doesn't need a ton of web to get from one part of town to the other.
Have you ever seen the size of the cartridges of his web fluid in the comic books? They're small. And granted, when he's fighting a foe, when he's fighting a Doc Ock or a Green Goblin, he seems to have enough of it to win the fight.
Well, I'm sure also there's in the old issues of the comic. There's probably been many instances where he's battled a giant monster too.
And he has run out of web fluid.
I'm just saying that in the world that I live in, I see Spider-Man as having organic web, and he's able
that's-
to. Let me finish. And in his body, he's able to produce massive amounts of his web fluid,
but not endless.
I will say yes,
Because
not
that would be
endless.
ludicrous.
No,
What do you mean no?
No. Matt,
What do you mean no?
I
There's
agree
no
with
no
you.
here.
I agree with you
There's
that
no
it is
endless amount of anything in the human body.
Hello. I'm saying I agree with you that it wouldn't be endless. Okay.
All right.
But he has an awful lot, and I think he would have enough to get the tarantula. Okay, so we talked enough about
that Spider-Man would win against the
Yes,
giant tarantula.
that's basically what I've come down to.
Okay, what's the vote?
No. So now we vote. Who do we think? I think Spider-Man would win this.
I do think, in the end, Spider-Man would win.
James,
I agree.
Sean,
I do. I agree.
Bobby.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man. I'm just thinking about you must have the best fights with your wife. I can't. I'm sitting listening to what do these two fight at home about?
All right,
Bobby, don't.
I'm going to fight with the wife. He must have the most colorful arguments about nothing.
Let's not bring this up. But if you want colorful, I tell you what. If you want colorful, let me throw in one. Okay. So, okay, you guys ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we've been
Anyway,
ready.
Spider-Man would definitely win. That's why I thought it was a silly.
But
thing to bring up.
look how much fun we had.
Okay, now, so for this, who would win? I understand for this particular one, I think Bobby's not going to be able to participate because he doesn't like science fiction.
Well,
but,
let's
how about
explain it to him so
yes?
he can.
Okay.
All right.
from The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my God.
Which is a Star Wars movie.
That I know.
The ferocious, vicious bounty hunter IG-88.
Okay, all right. Let me IG-88.
I don't have to know who these people are to have opinions.
IG-88 is an android bounty hunter.
Yes,
It's a robot.
Right.
Think of it like Dog the Bounty Hunter. You watch that show.
But in outer
Yes,
space.
imagine
But in outer space and he's a
He's a robot.
Yeah.
Okay, without the blonde hair. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That versus Box, the robot from Logan's Run. Two robots.
that's a-
IG-88 because he's a trained bounty hunter. Box,
We
Box
haven't
is,
even seen him in action. We know he would win.
Box is a delusional robot. He's left by himself and he doesn't know what he's doing.
But what does he
we
have?
have to
He has
explain- wait a
he
minute.
has a weapon.
Yeah.
What does he have?
But
Wait,
he
it's
has to pick up weapons.
Wait,
and-
we have to explain to Bobby
You see,
what Box is. Box is a robot in Logan's Run who may be a cyborg. We're not entirely sure.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
he is a robot. He freezes human beings in this ice cave that he's created
Right.
as a way of storing them. He thinks they're food,
Like fish.
like fish.
Right.
And
Plankton.
so, yeah, and he has this catchphrase, fish and plankton and sea greens, all from the sea, fresh as harvest day. And then he freezes you.
Is that Logan's Run?
Yes.
That's Logan's Run.
Okay.
Michael York.
I can't believe I know the movie. I just don't know if I've ever seen it. I know I'm not going to now.
Jenny Agutter.
You've ruined it for me.
Although Jenny Agutter.
Jenny Agutter.
Yum, yum.
and Roscoe Lee.
Jenny Agutter. Jenny Agutter from American Werewolf in London.
Come on, it's one
The
of your
shower.
favorites.
Come on.
Hello.
Werewolves,
She's the nurse.
in which movie?
American Werewolf in London.
Did you just did you trip or something? I mean, come on. You know this.
No, that I know.
You're better than
I know
this.
she
Come
is
on.
now. Yes,
Okay.
right.
So I put it out to you, gentlemen. You're all come on.
This is super easy.
Box can be pushed over. He's so clunky and awkward.
Yeah.
He has to roll around.
Yeah.
And he's a box.
Now, if I remember correctly, wasn't it you that said, "Whoa, IG-88, isn't he a lamp? Isn't he in the background? He doesn't."
No,
really
I
know."
said the lamp.
Okay, you said the
No,
lamp.
but I did express like not the highest opinion of IG-88, but against Box, he would absolutely win.
Yeah, we've
Jake?
never even seen him in action, but
No.
we know he's a bounty hunter. He has a reputation as a
Yeah.
bounty hunter.
Right.
So he must have, at some point, done something violent and won.
He must
Right.
be a badass.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Box, on the other hand, you've got a bunch of cold, scared runners going into his ice cave, thinking that they're going to be saved by this guy. So
Right.
already
They're all
they've
unsuspecting,
got right.
yeah.
They've got their defenses down, and then here comes Box with the freeze gun. Boom! It's done.
Right.
The first time anyone ever fought back, that was it.
That's true. Right. Box does have the cooler voice though, because it's played by
Well,
Roscoe Lee Brown.
Roscoe Lee Brown
But
is the
I
greatest.
don't even
yeah.
know.
No.
Does IG-88 even?
We've never
talk
heard him
or
talk.
speak or
No.
make sound?
I imagine he does, but we
Yeah,
did not
that's
hear it
true.
or see it. But everything
I
that you
did
said-
see a deleted scene from Empire, and he does speak. He talks. He talks like this.
Okay.
I'm
For,
IG-88.
okay, for listeners, Matt is
No,
just
that's
making
true.
you're
No, that's
making
it. Look it up.
No,
Go on
you are
YouTube.
making a
Go on
joke.
YouTube.
Making a joke. So Bobby,
I'm a
Yeah.
bounty
what do you think?
hunter.
What do you think?
I'm lost on this one. I'm so lost. I
think
wish I
IG-88
could.
James?
definitely.
IG-88?
All right.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's a question.
That was great, Larry.
Well,
All right, here and here's one that I have one that I think Bobby you would be familiar with. American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
David Naughton in full werewolf mode
Right.
Okay.
against Eddie Quist, played by Robert Picardo in The Howling. So you have the bipedal werewolf
Yes.
from Dante's The Howling
Yes. Right.
against the more
four.
dog-like four-legged werewolves.
tough one.
Those two werewolves fighting.
That's a good one.
form-
See, I don't think it is a
monsters.
tough one.
don't
Why?
think it's a
really?
tough one?
What do you think?
I think it's the Howling.
Why is that?
Why?
Because I think, first of all, I think that type of werewolf has more of its human marbles when they're wolves.
Yes, but I would say that the
And they
David
can.
Naughton werewolf is like such a vicious, pure animal that can maybe leap farther. I mean, I don't know.
I agree. And the four legs give him a speed advantage.
But
Yeah.
who's to say that those other werewolves from the Howling can't also use their four legs?
Possible,
They're
true.
just able to get onto their hind legs.
True. I mean, I think from what we've seen in the films, the American Werewolf in London creature can do more damage. I mean, he can slice off heads in one swoop. He can
Yeah.
we didn't really see that much of that in The Howling.
Is his
at least
mouth
the first one?
Is his mouth bigger? Is American Werewolf?
It may be. It may
Maybe a
be.
little bit. Like,
They're bulkier too.
Like
So
bulkier,
I will.
we might have the weight advantage.
I will say this, kind of like what you said. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to go with you with The Howling. And part of the reason why is he's able to stand on the hind legs, and he's using the two front paws or claws as hands or arms. So he's able to defend himself and attack better than the American Werewolf in London, which would have to lunge, it would have to leap up or whatever, but it would always have to be on its fours. You know,
I agree with you. I think when the characters in The Howling turn into werewolves, they are still kind of intelligent and have their human minds,
human cunning.
Yeah, whereas like
It's totally animal.
David Kessler in American Werewolf, he wakes up and doesn't remember what
Nothing.
happened. Like he completely transforms. His brain becomes an animal.
But I will give you this: that werewolf from American Werewolf in London is formidable because it's big and bulky
Yes.
and ferocious.
It'd be hard to take
and
it down.
That might throw you off a little bit.
Right.
You got that thing coming at you, even though you're a werewolf too. You might all of a sudden be off your game because wow, this thing is like a truck coming at me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
James, what do you think?
American Werewolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think the American Werewolf would?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Interesting. Okay. So we've Bobby.
I feel bad because I barely remember The Howling. I saw when it first came out. I don't even remember the werewolves in that.
They're pretty. I mean, they're definitely ferocious and
they're not as big as American Werewolf.
well, they're
They're a
kind of
little
like
leaner.
Yeah, they're leaner, but they're like maybe 7 feet, maybe
Yeah.
they're 8 feet tall.
They look like they might be taller.
yeah.
But wouldn't you agree, Bobby? I mean, if you turned into a wolf and you had more of your human mind, you have that cognitive thought, you would be able to defend yourself or battle the animal.
Maybe to trap it. Or
I don't know. I
something.
think it's whoever gets the first shot in, and just,
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
That's a good point.
you're
Okay.
not really thinking.
There would be a fight.
But- got these two werewolves
You
over-
threw a stake though, like in the Tex Avery cartoons, like here boy,
Right.
and they run the other way, and
Yeah,
then you drop an anvil on them.
right.
So, Bobby, you throw both werewolves in a room. You think it's 50-50.
It's a toss-up.
It's a toss-up.
toss-up.
Okay.
All right,
I
that's
think it is
fair.
too.
I think
it is
that's
too.
fair.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, that was a good one, though. I like
I
that.
did like that.
James, how about you?
All right. How about the creature from the Black Lagoon
Oh, I've heard of that.
versus the Wolfman?
Oh.
Lon Chaney.
The Lon Chaney Wolfman.
Now,
Lon Chaney.
surely
All right.
you've seen
Now,
those two movies.
If you
right?
say you can't
Yes,
remember
yes.
either of these films,
Those I remember.
Then we are
very,
going back to
very
Skechers.
Well. Even a man of pure heart, 7 prayers by night.
That's
Turn into a wolf
interesting.
with the wolf
Okay.
people. Yeah, I know.
All right.
Those.
Okay.
Those I know.
all right, we'll weigh in. Now you can weigh in.
Throw them into a room.
Who's going to come out?
Who's gonna win?
The victor.
Wow, that's tough. Let me think about that one. For
Let's
a
talk
moment.
it. Let's talk through it.
Well, now, of course, if they're in the water,
Theater
if
of the
wolf is going
mind
for a
isn't really
swim,
that great
That's
here.
true.
I think the creature definitely,
It's true.
In the water.
if,
Whoa,
they, if
water.
they're in the
Whoa, whoa.
water.
Yeah.
But the werewolf,
Whoa,
the
whoa.
wolfman's so fast and vicious, and
Yeah.
the creature.
It's lumbering on land.
If they're on land, definitely the Wolfman, because the creature.
so.
No, you don't think if they're on land,
No.
the creature has more power over the Wolfman?
No.
Why? Out of the water?
The creature
Right.
is armor plated.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes, and the Wolfman is fur.
Yeah.
It's skin and fur.
One
and let me
swipe
tell you
of those
something.
claws,
And it's not like
boom.
it's not like you throw the creature in a room and he's been sitting there for an hour with no water and he's shriveling up. No, it's like
But
he's wet. He's been sprayed. He's been hosed.
The creature's claws are not made of silver.
But
True.
well,
And
but
he's
he
not-
would
but he
rip.
can get punctured by bullets though. It's not like he's.
So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We need to explore what defeated means. Do we mean dead or do we mean defeated in battle?
Defeated in battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Because-
the
Because
Wolfman.
really, the wolfman can't die.
No, 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 no.
So
the Wolfman
ultimately,
gets hit with a cane, okay, and it gets his
Unless
little
it's
foot in a
silver,
trap.
yeah.
He's like, I've got my foot in a trap, and he falls
But we're
down.
talking about an animal who might not go, oh, I see, silver. Right?
the
So
thing-
if we're talking about that kind of defeat, the creature doesn't really have the capacity to go, I'm going to get a silver cane and
Right,
hit you
right.
with it.
He doesn't need to because his claws.
But
are
he
so-
does need
he
to
can-
if he's going to kill him.
He can.
Yeah.
I think he can. I'm not going to say kick the shit out of the Wolfman, but he can mess the Wolfman up so much more.
Wouldn't the creature, if attacked by the Wolfman, also with retreat? Doesn't the creature also have that kind of instinct to, if he's being attacked, to just jump back into the water?
But what if he's not near the water? He's
He's in
not,
a room.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the creature also has the advantage of always being the creature. If they're fighting and it starts to be
yes.
daybreak, then Larry Talbot's fucked.
Yes.
Whoa.
That's true.
But you have the fact that he is the werewolf. He is a supernatural being.
Oh.
And so if we're talking
Right.
about killing him, then it's always going to be the Wolfman.
Okay, look, I'm not saying kill, but I will say this. When Lon Chaney Jr. turns into the Wolfman, you can back me up, Bobby. He's the same height. He's the same height as Larry Talbot, okay?
Right. Yeah.
The creature is much larger. I think the creature is, yes,
Well, he
yes.
might be a
He's
foot
like
larger.
6'8". Come on, no, he's
both
big.
tall men.
He's big, he's tall, he's strong, and I just think the hands on the creature are massive. He can just grab that Wolfman's face and just scrape it, and then make the Wolfman go, my face is ripped off.
Larry,
Yes.
you have brought up a very good point, which I don't think has ever really been explored in these movies, which is that if you take the Wolfman and you slice him completely into separate pieces,
Right.
does he come back together again?
Does he grow?
Well, that's what I was going to say. First of all, they say you can only kill him with a silver bullet. But yeah, if he got hit by a truck, he had a regular skull. You smashed him in the head with a baseball bat. Does his skull not?
I don't know.
smash?
No.
Does it come
true.
back? Supernatural being.
He's not
true.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Let me. You know
Yes.
what? I just want to say something to you. You say super. I don't know if it falls into like total supernatural.
It's
being.
the Wolfman?
It's absolutely
Well, it's like
supernatural.
okay, the full moon is there, and it's like I've got this issue. I've got this problem.
It's
yeah,
not
it's a problem.
scientific.
Well,
It's
yeah, but he
supernatural.
turns into the Wolfman.
He's not going to stop being the Wolfman through therapy.
Yeah.
It's a curse.
Yeah,
it's a
right.
supernatural
actual curse. Right, with a pentagram that shows on your
A pentagram on his hand.
Guys,
Exactly.
guys, I hear you. I just
biology versus
I'm just
mythology.
saying, look,
Right.
he gets caught in a trap and he like and he falls down and he like
he can
curls
feel
up.
pain.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I think the creature can feel pain too. I just think you throw them both in a room. I think the creature is going to overpower the Wolfman before the Wolfman overpowers the creature.
The creature would win the battle. The Wolfman
Maybe
would
not-
win the war.
Okay, you bring up
I'm
okay,
going to bed.
Bobby, what do you think?
I'm torn on this one, but it gets back to the fact that the Wolfman, you can only kill him with a silver bullet, which is ridiculous because, again, like Matt said, you chop him up and you smash his head with a baseball bat, he's still,
Well, where was the silver bullet with Claude Rains when he's hitting
Well,
them
yeah,
with
silver.
cane.
Silver.
Silver.
A
Yeah,
silver
in
weapon.
general.
silver weapon.
Yeah, silver.
Oh,
Just
okay. The
ridiculous.
cane.
But now, if you bash in his brains with a baseball bat,
and it's lead. Let's say it's lead.
okay,
Oh,
it's lead.
for-
It's not silver. It's lead.
yeah.
And that's not going
And
to
then
work.
he comes back. Let's say he manages to.
How?
Well, through supernatural means.
being. Oh.
I would bet that he's a little simpler in the noodle.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, that he comes back and he's a little more Lenny. Let's just say.
Okay. So are you saying who would win?
I said it before. I think the creature would win the battle, but ultimately the Wolfman would win out because he's not going to be killed unless somehow, maybe through an accident almost, that maybe the creature picks up something silver and throws it at the
Yeah, how
Wolfman.
does the creature kill people anyway? What does he,
He
do?
just
Claws.
grabs them, suffocates them.
yeah.
Just, yeah.
It takes his
It's brute strength.
Big
yeah.
claws. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Freddy Krueger
It's
coming
like
at you.
it's like razor daggers.
Now,
Yes.
unless-
Scraping.
unless-
All right, wait a minute. Sean's
Unless you're
got something.
talking about the genetically altered air-breathing creature from Creature Walks Among Us.
No, you can't. You
versus
can't
the
include
Wolfman.
that. No,
He would
'cause
lose
he's-
any
okay.
battle.
Yeah, he-
Okay.
all you got to do is just show him a picture of the lagoon. He'll just start crying.
Okay. All right, this is great. We've been on this a lot. So
Right.
I hear the battle and the war. Okay, get it. Okay, James, what do you think?
What do you think?
I'd give it to the Wolfman because I always thought that the creature, when he's out of the water, just seemed a little out of his element, a little lumbering, and the Wolfman would have the speed and the ferocity, and I would give it to the Wolfman.
Okay, I say the creature. Sean,
I agree with James. I think the Wolfman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bobby?
I might go with the Wolfman. Yeah.
So the minute you
And I love
go
the
from
creature.
Rico Browning to Ben Chapman, all of a sudden you're losing the battle.
Right.
all right. Well, I
And I'm a creature fan, but
Yes.
I
Okay,
don't know.
all right,
Yeah,
that was a
all
good
right,
one
all
though.
right. It's okay. Yeah. Okay.
Unless they're in the water. Then
yes.
no.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I believe it is Matt's turn.
Okay, here's one.
Mighty Mouse versus
Jesus.
I'm not going to get this one.
All right, here we go. Frankenhooker.
Oh.
Frankenhooker?
Who's Frankenhooker?
Oh,
You've never
Scotty,
seen
come
Frankenhooker.
on.
What's wrong with you? That movie is made for you.
Wait, is that a Tim Burton movie? No.
No.
Oh no! It's got the two things you love: Frankenstein and Hooker.
I told you I was out of my element here.
Frank Henenlotter film. It's a comedy.
Really? I couldn't tell by the title.
He did Basket Case, right?
Yes, he did Basket Case. He did all the Basket Case movies.
Brain
I love
damage.
Basket
Brain
Case,
damage.
yes.
And it's a great movie. And the guy who plays the Dr. Frankenstein-esque character, James Lawrence, his girlfriend is killed in a gardening accident. And so he's got to rebuild her. But he uses parts from prostitutes.
He like drives around 42nd Street.
I can't
and
believe I
picks
don't
up-
know the movie.
No, you would love it.
Yeah, it's
You would
it's
love
really
it.
funny.
It's really funny. And so when he's created this creature, she kind of goes AWOL and runs into the city, and she's trying to pick up dates, and she's walking down the street all kind of jerky and kind of fizzling
got
out every
stitches
once in a
all
while. She's
over.
got stitches all over the place, and she's going, "Want a date?" And anytime she touches someone, she'll fry them until they ultimately explode.
How does that happen?
Because she's got an electric charge
Yeah.
that she's always carrying that brought her back to life, and expels whenever she touches anyone. So
It's right up your alley.
Frankenhooker against the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh.
Okay.
Now here you go. The one thing that we don't know about the Bride of Frankenstein is all her abilities.
Right, because she doesn't last too long.
As you said, Bobby, all she does is turn down the monster.
Right.
But we
And
can
die.
we can
Die.
deduct. We can figure out.
We could figure it out.
based on what Frankenstein monster
Thank
does.
you.
Right.
We can get an idea
Yes.
exactly. That's my thought.
Yes. And so what do we know about the Frankenstein monster? Extremely strong.
Yes, very strong.
And very resilient.
Yes, yes.
Gets burned, falls from great heights.
Pretty
and
indestructible.
Pretty indestructible. Now, from Frankenhooker, I see this person as being able to give this electrical charge, but looks like she's put together kind of loosely.
And also, the
yes.
bride of Frankenstein wouldn't be affected by electricity.
Exactly.
Ah.
All that electric
might make
charge
her
would do make her stronger.
Right.
But wait,
Yes.
if you remember the Bride of Frankenstein, you can't compare her to the monster because the monster was made from different parts of different men and he had the criminal mind. And when he came to life right away, he was on the move. She came back to life. It was one person. It was a woman. She was never a violent woman, as we know. You know, didn't have a criminal mind.
Sure.
And if you remember how wobbly she was, she could barely stand up. She was very fragile, and it didn't look like she was going to fight anybody anytime soon.
Whoa, okay, wait a minute. All I want to say here about that is, okay, I see your point. However, let's say she was around for like a couple weeks. Yeah, she was just created.
Let her get her sea legs
She
a little
just
bit.
got off the slab. So I understand
The
she's a little
Frankenstein
wobbly.
monster was a little wobbly. in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah. When
Yeah.
he's walks and they open
Sure,
the light
they
and
open
he
up
reaches
the
a
sunlight.
light, and so what I'm thinking is, yeah, that's true. When she's fresh, she is a little wobbly. I'd say let's give her a couple weeks, and I think
Right.
she'd be
Some
she'd-
protein shakes
Yeah.
and
Well,
just
Yeah, but that's not the character that we know. You know,
That's
that
what
would
I
be-
see in my
It's
mind.
But also, I think, like you said, Frankenhooker is not quite right in the head. She's a bit kind of confused.
confused.
And I'm not sure she's sewn up that well.
Yeah.
Yes, she is not put together that well.
She could probably be torn apart pretty easily.
And the fact that the Bride of Frankenstein is one person, not sewn up
right.
all over the place. There's a little bit of sewing,
Right.
but it's mostly one body.
Right.
And also, isn't she brought to life partly through Dr. Pretorius's method, which is a little more occulty?
You bring up a very good
Yeah,
point. What the
right.
other thing I was going to
Did-
say is she has a certain passion or anger or fear or some kind of emotion when she looks at the monster.
Men.
For the
Doesn't like men.
Okay, and does a thing. I see if she were to see Frankenhooker, she's not.
They
all
might like
there-
each other.
No,
Right?
no,
Bobby?
no. That wouldn't
I don't
happen.
think they would have liked each other.
No, I think.
gotta read my
I think
slash
the-
fiction.
I think the bride would have enough power to actually, if she were to grab onto Frankenhooker and just start pulling, and those
kinda
limbs
think
will
so,
start
too.
flying.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I don't know. The bride could barely walk again. You know, I
But
don't know
better
if she-
manufactured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if she would have been, but she didn't look like she was looking for trouble. She was such a sweet, dead lady. You know, I don't see her drinking protein shakes and working out. And
But what else is she going to do? If she's not going to get in bed with the Frankenstein monster, she's got a lot of free
after they
time.
brought her back to life and let her
Well,
live in a castle.
but
what a
she
bitch.
really, remember, she gravitated toward Dr. Frankenstein.
Right.
So what
Right.
if she felt that Frankenhooker was a rival for her?
Yeah,
Frankenhooker
all she
trying to get
needs
the
is a
doctor.
motive.
Even
Yeah.
more so.
Hell hath no fury like a dead woman scorned.
If she had that motive, then yes, that would tip it.
No,
Yeah,
I'm with Sean here on
Well,
that.
I didn't
one.
see Frank.
All she needs is a reason.
Was Frankenhooker, was she evil at all or just kind of confused?
More confused than evil.
Right.
Yeah.
And most of the time when she was killing someone, it was because
She touched him like
she touched them. Yeah.
Right.
It was more like she was starting a sexual advance.
right.
I mean, based on what we've discussed here, though, doesn't it sound like I hear you? You know, I hear what you're saying about the bride. I get it. But don't you think, based on what we've discussed, that if you threw these two monster women together, that the bride of Frankenstein would defeat Frankenhooker?
Well, Frankenhooker, she got that electricity, which probably she thrives off of. Oh, yeah, she's very hot. A nice picture.
She shows up at
Yeah, no,
conventions
she-
every once in
yeah.
a while.
She does?
Patty Mullen.
Yeah.
Is she that hot in real life, too?
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
How old was the movie?
That was 1990.
Oh, was
Wow,
it?
really?
1990, right on the nose. Okay.
Has she worked since Frankenhooker? Is she still making movies?
That I'm not so sure.
But look, but what we have brought up is perhaps we've brought up a movie that you
no,
need
you'd
to
love
check
this.
out. Okay?
Oh my God, I can't even believe
Yeah,
you,
it
haven't
really
seen
is.
this. You
So-
fucking love
so-
this
I'm
movie.
going to watch it this week.
Okay,
Yeah.
based on this, how are we voting? Matt, what do you think?
Bride.
James,
Frankenhooker.
I think we could go with Bride.
I'm going to go with Bride.
I'm going to go with Bride, but it's hard because I didn't see the other movie.
I don't want to hear that. Just give me a go with the Bride, right?
I'm going to go with Bride.
Yeah. Okay. Nice
They
one.
both seem very fragile, and they both seem like, you know.
Yeah, it might be a kind of a messy
Stalemate.
fight.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, it's going to be messy, very messy. But I think it's going to be messier on Frankenhooker's side.
All right.
Okay.
Well, so that's a round. What'd you think? Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what.
How many more of these are there?
Only 19 more to go.
Listen. You brought up two that I thought were great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You
You're easily impressed.
No. You
Wait, Tarantula and Spider-Man?
No.
That was fun.
Bride of Chucky and the Bride of
we
Frankenstein.
didn't even explore that one really.
No,
too
and I
much.
wanted to explore it because I think it's really cool.
Well, we'll get back to it maybe.
Well, Bride of Chucky.
Oh, we're on Bobby again.
Yes, it's Bobby's turn.
okay.
Maybe if you pay attention to me,
look.
we're trying to go around the circle
I've
here.
got my own thoughts. I'm
No, I'm
thinking
just
about
saying the-
school and my
every-
web shooter.
After what you just discussed about Bride of Frankenstein, fragile and just came back to life, and she's very wobbly, and Bride of Chucky, go right after her, jump on her, and stab her in the
Yeah,
neck.
she has the killer instinct.
Bride of Chucky was-
because she's a possessed doll. She kind of
she's a monster. She's
Yeah.
just killing people who
And
run
she's
away
small
from her.
and can run
the Bride to get
around.
away from.
Yeah,
Well,
I have-
okay.
yeah.
So may I ask a question? So are you saying that the bride is thrown in this room and she doesn't have a weapon, and Bride of Chunky, they throw her in
Chunky?
Chucky, and they throw her in there, and she's
The
got
candy
a knife.
bar?
She's got a knife. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way. You can't.
She
you
doesn't need a
can't
knife
give,
then either.
No,
She can just
I'm just saying
tear
you
at
can't give her a knife and not give the bride anything. Yeah, I'd say
okay.
they both go in without a knife.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the Bride of Chucky would have found something. He would have taken a test tube and broken it and stabbed her in the neck. Would have.
There's no test tube in this room.
A piece of
Just
the
a room with
wall.
nothing in
A
it?
piece
Yeah.
of the wall.
No.
What do you mean no?
She could bite her. She could
What do
bite
you mean?
her.
Okay,
You can't.
that's what we-
You said a room.
A room.
A room has a wall. A piece of the wall.
James, what do you think?
Bride of Chucky is malicious. Bride of Frankenstein is catatonic. I give it to Bride of Chucky.
Yeah,
Bride of Chucky.
I agree.
See, part of me feels that when faced with the Bride of Chucky, first of all, Bride of Chucky is small, okay? And so I think the size, the weight, and the strength, I think, goes to Bride. That's what I think. So, yes, guys, I think Bride of Chucky could jump on Bride of Frankenstein.
On the neck and grip her.
You know, and you know what? And I think Bride would go, ah, and grab a hold of that Chucky doll and throw it. I think it would be a seriously nasty battle. But I do think her preservation, wanting to try to survive this, would just kick in.
Yes, it's your most basic instinct,
Yeah.
which
To
is
survival.
to survive.
And I really think that Bride wouldn't give up. I think Bride would overpower Bride of Chucky, because let's face it too, Bride of Chucky there's stuffing inside of her, so if she were to be ripped apart, she'd be just like stuffing all over the place.
I think so. Yeah.
So I think you guys give a good argument. I just think Bride of Frankenstein, she'd be hurt, but I think she would win that war.
Just like the Frankenstein monster, she would be hurt, but she would regain her control. She would heal. And like you said, James, that monster is almost indestructible.
Yeah, but I don't think that I think she should be too confused to fight back.
And she's not
But
cunning.
she wouldn't
she's
be
not
for
cunning.
But she
Not
wouldn't
for
be
long.
for long.
Not for long.
She'd learn very quickly.
But we don't know that.
Yo,
The Frankenstein monster was able to pick up English very quickly.
yes.
True.
And ride a bike.
I don't know. In that final scene in Bride of Frankenstein, where he knows he's being turned down by her, and he wants to pull the switch and blow everything up. You think in that moment, if she was that smart, she'd think, "Oh no, honey, I'll give you a chance." If her instinct for self-preservation were that strong, then she might have caught on to what was going on.
She doesn't even understand words
No,
yet.
James, but no one jumped on her and tried to bite her.
Okay, well, you're talking about
if-
primal. You're talking about
yes.
primal instinct, but there's very little in that final scene in Bride of Frankenstein to give us the indication that her primal instinct would kick in enough to defeat the Bride of Chucky.
Okay, let's say we're sitting here, and all of a sudden I see on Sean's thing, it says there's a button there that says, I press this button and I'm going to blow up the room. And I'm going to, I'm going to blow. You'd sit there. You'd go, oh, you'd be in shock. But if I were to jump and bite your neck, you'd go, ah, and you try to push me away.
You're basically an infant.
I don't know if she was in shock when Boris Karloff was going to pull that
It's
switch.
not
I just
shock.
think
She screamed. She hissed.
Yeah.
she hissed, but that was just. She's not all there. I don't even know if her instinct for self-preservation would kick in. Honestly, I'm going to give it to Bride of Chucky. That's my final answer.
Matt,
I'm going with Bride once again.
I'm going to go with Bride. Sean?
I think I'm going with Bride of Chucky. She's just too vicious, and she's a killer.
Okay,
She's
we have a
killer at
tie.
heart.
Winning. Who do you think, Bobby?
Okay, first of all, the self-preservation, when he said, "We belong dead," and he goes, and Dr. Frankenstein says, "Don't pull that switch, you'll blow us all to kingdom come." She did realize what was going on.
I think so. I think so. I think
for a
she
moment.
she has
For a
that
moment.
I
hatred
think
in
she
her eyes.
understood
But
English.
But what's your point?
Well, I just want to. I don't know why they had a switch to blow up the castle. Do they build that? Do you have a house to blow up?
I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Flush the toilet. There's the heat, air conditioning, and blow up the house. That can be yours.
And they're all red buttons.
What castle? What
Right.
castle comes with the switch? Blow up castle. So anyway,
lever.
I'm going with the
Press the
I'm
lever.
going to go with the Bride of Chucky because she did have
There you go.
that killer instinct, and I'm thinking they're not in a room with nothing in it. She would have found something.
Yeah.
To poke her in the eyes, a pencil.
Right.
She would have stabbed her in
She's
the face. She
resourceful.
would have.
Yeah.
All right.
Before the bride knew what was happening, that little doll would jump up on it because it's possessed,
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
demonic, and it's trying to kill. And I think before the bride has a chance to even know what was going on,
I will go as far as to say that is a possibility.
Yeah, but you know what? This was a good discussion,
Yes,
and you
see?
did a wonderful job.
Better than you ever thought it was going to go. We're putting a star by your name, and I'm
wait.
deactivating
I
the
can't wait for
house
the next
destruction
episode.
button.
Sean?
Can't wait for the 5th installment.
All right, Sean, it's in your corner now.
Okay.
That was a good one,
All right, Bobby, you're gonna love this one.
Oh boy, I've loved them all so far.
though. No, you did not. You hated mine.
Okay,
Well,
this
it's
one.
just because it was yours.
Okay. All right. In one room, who's gonna win? Bubo, the mechanical owl.
From Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Ray Harryhausen, you know.
That I know. That
Okay.
I'm blowing up
Okay.
the house.
versus the Phantasm Sphere.
Oh, that is a goodie.
Oh, that's a good.
See?
I have a
That's a goodie.
Phantasm Sphere
Two
one.
flying mechanical things.
I like that.
Yes,
I
I
like
like
that
it,
a
yes.
lot.
Remember, Bubo is made out of iron and brass.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
And it's a thinking
Yes.
creature.
It is a
it's
thinking
mechanical, but it's,
creature.
I don't know how super fast or agile it is, but it's made of sturdy stuff.
Yes.
The sphere is probably guided by another outside.
An intelligence of some sort, whether it's the aliens
Yeah.
that are involved with the Phantasm story,
Or,
or
yeah.
there's a
intelligence inside it too. 'cause
right,
They
like
captured
an
people's-
AI type of
Yeah.
thing
It
going
wasn't
on.
Angus Scrimm. He didn't control these.
Well,
No.
he did, but it kind of like in the later sequels, like they were actually capturing people's essence inside the spheres too. It got kind of weird, but
Yeah, it got a little
from
convoluted.
From the first Phantasm movie,
No.
these things that just come out and they guard the mortuary and they attack and they drill.
They're pretty vulnerable.
I think
Yeah,
I think
for
of it
now.
as an electronic device that this is it's like you have a Roomba in your house and it's supposed to
It's a
go and
very
it
deadly Roomba.
every once and it goes out, it vacuums, it does its little job, and that's how I see the sphere. It's doing its job. It's like its job. It's programmed to go around the mausoleum and there's someone there I don't know.
So
I'm going to
But
go.
it's a very basic AI. I'm
Yes.
not saying
Yeah,
it's
yes.
able to
But
play chess or
but it's
anything.
very like ruthless. I mean,
Yes.
let's say it targets Bubo.
Okay.
Bubo's flying around. He's
Yes.
taking a break from hanging out with Perseus.
Sure.
And it's just minding its own business, and the sphere comes after it. Who
I
would
think
win?
this is an easy one.
No.
How?
Okay, Matt. Well, okay.
I think it's Bubo.
Why?
I think Bubo wins
Yeah.
Okay.
because the sphere, if you remember in the movie, it is shot with a shotgun and it just bursts into pieces.
Right.
Did.
Yeah.
The
That
minute the thing hit Bubo, it would burst into pieces. Because Bubo's pretty armored.
Yeah.
And I think that sphere was made specifically to attack fleshy
A bone. It can
creatures.
go through a bone too. It can
Yes.
drill through flesh and
It
bone.
can, but bone, not
Right, right,
steel.
right.
Yes. See, you bring up a really good point. I see the sphere as doing some kind of damage to Bubo,
Possibly.
but the thing that gets me is Bubo is a thinking mechanical
Right.
machine.
Right.
And I think the intelligence level lands on Bubo. And I think that Bubo would be able to, let's say the sphere gets stuck in its wing and my gosh, Bubo falls down and he's got his little wing. I think Bubo would have the intelligence to go, okay, I'm going to wedge this thing into a corner, or I'm going to crush it, or I'm going to do something to it, or I'm going to scratch it, or I'm going to pull its little drill out, or so I go to that side. So I'm going to say Bubo.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Bubo also a supernatural being?
Well, he's manufactured by Hephaestus.
Yeah, but I don't think I wouldn't
For-
say he's supernatural.
Well,
though. He's
but the
a,
god-
fly.
he's
He's
made,
mechanical.
He's made by the gods.
He's made by the gods.
Yes, but
and
he-
there's no way that owl could fly
No, yes,
if he
it-
wasn't
no.
powered by magic.
No,
No
could,
way.
No, Matt, it's like imagine a Swiss watch. If you make a Swiss
You can't-
watch,
Swiss watches can't fly.
No, well, if you put mechanical wings on
throw it into the sky, then it flies for a minute and falls.
Let me ask you something. What's a plane made out of? Oh, it's made out of wood. No, it's made out of metal. Planes
Yes.
fly. So my point is, I'm talking.
But they
I'm
don't-
talking.
they don't
I
flap
think-
their wings.
I'm just saying that Bubo has the intelligence and the mechanical know-how to flap its wings and fly.
Yeah,
and that's
but it's not.
Bobby, you
it's-
know what we're talking
it's
about
not
with
just-
Bubo,
Yeah,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
It's not an unthinking machine, though. It is true that it's mechanical. It's mechanical because the goddess that had Bubo
Not the
didn't
real
want to
owl.
give away her real owl Bubo. Zeus wanted the real Bubo to follow, and help Perseus on his quest, but she didn't want to give it up. So Hephaestus made the mechanical one.
one.
But
it's
isn't the
still-
mechanical part more of kind of a way of just showing hey, we're trying to give you something that you can relate to in Earth-like terms?
No.
Something that's mechanical as opposed to just creating another owl.
No, it's
or a wooden owl.
Well, no, but
even. A wooden owl would have a better chance of flying than the metal one.
Yeah, it'd be a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let me just ask you: who do you think, Bubo or the sphere?
I was going to say the sphere, but then Matt convinced me it would be Bubo because the sphere wouldn't be able to penetrate another piece of metal. If,
Yeah.
if the
It'd be
sphere
a-
had like
yeah.
a buzzsaw, that'd be
Well,
one
I
thing.
mean, it has a drill on it.
It has a
but
drill.
I don't know if that
yeah.
it would go through iron.
The sphere
that's the-
itself, though, is pretty vulnerable.
If-
Again,
yeah,
the
if
minute
direct-
you
like
shoot at it,
directly hit. Yeah.
it shatters.
Yeah.
See, I didn't. That wasn't the first Phantasm. Though.
Yes, it was.
Right.
Yes,
right.
yes.
First one it shattered.
Oh yeah.
In the later ones, they had other different devices
Okay.
came out of the spheres, and they were more elaborate. But I
What do you
still
think?
I
We're
still
talking about
think-
the first one then. The
Yes.
first-
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you think, Bobby?
I would have to go with the owl. The fact that he, like you said, when you shot at it, it shattered. It obviously, if it had contact with a metal owl, I would think that owl would be smart enough to either outsmart it, to avoid it,
Yeah.
or to destroy it. So I'd have to go with the owl.
You could take Bubo and just throw it
Right.
at the sphere, and that would be it. That'd be done.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is good. Okay. So I guess are we all in agreement
I
that
think so.
Bubo?
I think it's Bubo.
Yeah, Bubo.
Okay. Good.
For For once, we're cheering for Bubo.
Team Bubo.
And now we're going to enter the world of magic. Imagine, Bobby, you have
David Blaine.
no. From Harry Potter, you've got Hermione Granger. Okay, versus
Harry Potter.
Potter.
Do you know
world?
Harry
Okay.
Potter?
Yeah, I know very well. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
my daughter because
Good.
Okay.
Versus Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Which one?
comic book?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
so
boy.
yeah,
Which
now-
comic book?
The one from 1962 when she
The original,
the
like,
original,
Archie
the original
comics.
Archie comic books. And my thinking was, so here you have these two witches. Now Sabrina has a mom and a dad. One is magical, one is not. Hermione comes from Muggle parents. Neither one of them is magical. She was born and had the power to be a witch. Okay, now she goes off to school at age 12. And learns all these spells and all these things how to do, to use their wand and stuff. And she is like the smartest kid in her class. Now, Sabrina doesn't really learn that she's a witch until she's 16. Now, granted, she doesn't necessarily use a wand. She uses her nose. How she does the little twitch, doo-doo-doo-doo, and she can make things happen. But
But
if-
Hermione, to me, like has gone through so much experience battling
training, yeah.
evil,
Training, yeah.
dark forces, whereas Sabrina just kind of does silly little things at school or something,
Yeah,
right?
right.
yeah, and she
She's
doesn't go,
not-
and she doesn't go to a witch school.
Yeah, she's just like
She's like Archie comic kind of witch.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. She does in the TV show. She
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Well,
to,
the new
like-
incarnations of the comic, I think, get pretty serious and dark. too,
Are they?
right?
Well, in the new incarnation, where
Is
Archie,
the news TV show any good?
it
Is it dark and serious?
in places,
Oh, okay,
but after about 5 episodes, you stop caring.
It's not funny enough to be funny, and it's not serious enough to be serious.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you very much. That is absolutely correct.
Wow.
Okay, well, so if you put
Like
those,
Buffy.
so if you put those two in a room, who do you think? James,
It sounds like it's Hermione.
Matt?
Hermione.
yeah, I agree.
Sean?
Yeah,
Oh, I definitely agree.
Just
yeah.
the training alone. So in the new Archie comics, where it's Archie and the Undead,
really.
the story is, because they've done these new comics that are really great, but the story starts with Jughead, his dog. I forget what the dog's name was, but the dog gets hit by a car. And
This is a new Archie comic,
This is a new
really?
Archie comic, yeah, and it's played straight. And so Jughead is so upset that his dog is dead that he goes to Sabrina. And he's saying, "Oh my God, my dog is dead. I wish there was something we could do." Well, she decides to get this spell that her witch family says, "No, don't mess with that spell. It's a spell to bring someone back to life."
Oh, like Frankenweenie and Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, but there are there are complications. But she decides to do it anyway. So yeah, she brings the dog back, but the dog is now a zombie who then bites Jughead and starts a zombie invasion.
I hate when they redo stuff like this.
Why?
They give Archie the new look. I liked it when he had the little tic-tac-toe board on the side of his head.
Well, I like that too.
And Jughead had his little crown, and Betty and Veronica were just... Yeah,
Well, they don't look like that anymore?
And they're a little, well, there's shades of that, but they're a little more smoothed out and a little more
Are
realistic.
Betty and Veronica still hot?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I still love that.
Oh, my
That was like
God.
Ginger and
Yeah.
Mary Ann.
Well,
Yeah, how do you choose?
Well, it sounds like we've talked about a comic book that you need to get now.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a
movie
really-
comic book that you need to check
I
out.
had. Do you have the Archie comic with the creature from the Black Lagoon on the cover of the pool?
I know that one.
I
don't,
had
yeah.
one when I go into my creature collection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could find it.
Yeah, you can. You can.
How about Archie versus the Punisher? They did that.
No, See,
This-
that's why this is getting so
But it was
dumb.
great, though. They once again, they played it straight, and the Punisher. But Frank Castle is just, what's the town again that they lived in?
Riverdale?
Riverdale. Yeah, they go to Riverdale, and he's involved with some sort of mission, and
Yeah, but
they
the-
get in the way.
But the one that Bobby's talking about, it's a vintage one. It's not something that was done recently.
There's also a Ramones one too,
Or Ramones what?
with Riverdale.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, it just gets so stupid.
One of the scariest things I ever read was a Life with Archie comic from back in the 70s where there was, Life with Archie got a little edgy. They had like life endangering stories in there. And there was a horror one with a possessed teddy bear. And whoever touched the teddy bear would try to make them kill themselves.
An Archie comic?
An Archie comic. And on the cover is Betty holding this teddy bear with a glazed look in her eye, walking toward a cliff. And Archie's like, "No, Betty, you're going to kill yourself." Yeah, it's like,
Wow.
I was
Wow,
like
that's
7 years
heavy.
old.
When I was in high school, these Christian guys would come to the school to try to convert us all and they give you these what's the guy Jack Chick
Yeah.
little pamphlets that were
No,
little.
we never got those.
Yeah, but they're like little comic books, right?
Yeah.
And then they give those out, but then there were also a bunch. Somehow, I guess they got the rights to borrow Archie for a little bit to do religious comics.
Really?
And
Kind of
so,
like Davy and Goliath.
yeah,
David
but it was all the
I love
characters
David.
from Archie. But like they're praying for Reggie's soul and like that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And that was pretty strange. Yeah.
That was really weird watching Davy and Goliath as a kid, and then there was
yeah.
this great little story at the end. There'd be that message about Jesus, and
Right.
Yeah.
Church
Could
of
be some
Latter-day
epilogue.
Saints,
Yeah.
and you go.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about it during the whole cartoon.
No, yeah.
And then at the end,
I thought that was
hey,
Catholic.
Davy, the dog. And,
Yep.
always find God. That was frightening. That was a scary cartoon.
I thought it was a great. I thought it was always uplifting. I always enjoyed watching those. I love Davy and Goliath.
So did I.
I always expected Gumby to kind of roll in sometime.
Right.
It was made by the same guy, Art
Right,
Clokey.
same guy, right?
Yeah.
That
yeah.
music at the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay,
All right. So
all
we're
right.
done
So
with this
we
one.
so we all feel that Hermione would win. Great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I agree.
James.
All right, from 1942, the Cat People. Ooh. Versus from 1959, the
That's a-
Alligator People.
The Cat People. That was a Val Lute movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it though the girl
Yeah.
cat person versus
yeah.
the guy
Yes.
alligator?
Yes.
Is it the guy in full alligator mode?
Oh, it has to be.
Or-
Yes.
It has to be. Interesting.
So Simone Simon versus.
Right.
Yeah. Senior
Right.
Ice. It was
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but
it's-
that when she turns into a leopard,
well,
because she turns into a regular leopard,
but only under certain conditions.
right?
Her passions have to be inflamed in order for her to turn into.
okay,
A
But-
let's say
you-
her passions are inflamed when they throw her in the
When
room.
they're when they're fighting.
well, then,
she's,
then it's she's got the edge.
She's at make,
she's a leopard.
Okay, she's attacked
okay.
by the alligator person at makeout point.
Okay. Okay. Can I throw this out here, Bobby? You okay?
I'm great.
Okay.
Can't wait to see what you have to say.
This is my feeling.
Okay.
Okay. As we know, when the young man comes full alligator person, to me, it's not like he's lost his mind. He's now an alligator. He still has
Right.
his human mind
Yeah.
as he turns into
because
an
he's
alligator.
he's,
Yeah.
he's totally freaked
Whereas
out.
the
because-
cat gal, she turns into like vicious leopard.
Right.
Okay. So what I think is the animalistic instinct in the leopard would go after the alligator guy, and the alligator guy would say, I know I have sharp teeth, but he would freak out and he would get torn up.
Under those conditions, I agree. But the big question mark for me is, does she turn into a leopard when confronted with the alligator guy? I'm not so sure that she does.
So are you saying
Well-
that when she's thrown into the room with the alligator guy, she's just a gal?
She's a confused gal. She's like, what the hell is this thing?
Well, you can't.
You can come
Yeah,
on,
but you have to-
James.
You can't do
W-
that.
at the moment of the fight, you have to have them in their full monster mode. I
Okay,
think,
that's
to-
like
if they're in their full monster mode, then she wins.
Okay.
But don't forget that the alligator man, when he's full alligator guy, Paul Webster, the character, he fights and kills a real alligator in the swamp
That's true.
without too much problems.
But
So-
he was just his head was an alligator, though. He still had the body of a human.
well, he had
No,
like
no,
skin,
he had
he had like
scaly
scales
skin.
along
Scaly
his-
skin.
yeah, he was
did it?
shirtless,
Yeah, like
yeah,
it.
but it was mostly just
right.
and his
right,
hands
right.
were like
They
claws.
just showed it. Right.
But you're thinking like a regular leopard, really.
Yeah.
Just an irregular animal like from the jungle like that versus a mutant, half man, half alligator. I don't know. That's kind of tough. But because he beat the alligator, a real regular alligator in the swamp, I think he would.
But
win.
let's face it, the alligator, what it does, it can't like really move its little legs, and it tries to spin and use its tail to
But they're-
wiggle
but-
around.
but
No.
they're ferocious creatures.
Yes,
Now,
yes, they are.
look.
With a leopard is agile, has the big strong claws and can in the mouth and the fangs and
Larry is right.
Yes.
But if we throw in one more element, he's even more right. And that is supernatural being. I think supernatural
True.
being always
True.
gives
Yes.
always gives you a little bit of an edge.
Now,
the alligator
we've-
man was made from science.
Matt hammers this each time each time we've done this, and as irritating as it can be sometimes, he does bring up a very good point. Alligator person is created.
He's a product of
Techno-
mad science or twisted
well,
science.
it's not mad science.
Well, no, but it's a
he's
science-
trying.
a
The
science-
scientist is trying to do good.
science accidents.
Yes.
Well, and an alligator that he is able to defeat is still easier for a human to wrestle than a leopard.
Well,
right?
the leopard
That's-
might then
right.
just go for a throat or an eye or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you
Right.
think, Bobby?
I'm thinking any woman, especially in the 1940s, an opportunity to kill a man and get shoes and a purse out of it. She would be so driven to kill him.
It would be like Popeye. She'd hit him, he'd go into the sky and come back as luggage.
Yes, come on, exactly, same thing.
Oh,
Same
my-
thing. Yeah,
okay.
luggage, exactly.
Okay.
That kind of.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So are we in agreement here?
I don't
say,
think so.
No, we're not.
I don't know. What do you,
James,
where are
what-
you at, James?
Leopard.
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 I guess thinking about it that way, I guess a leopard's so ferocious. I think it would probably, because also the alligator man is
He's kind of downtrodden, too.
But he's distraught because he knows what he
Yes.
is, and he's
Yeah.
like confused and depressed. And the leopard would just
Yeah, like Peter Parker.
yeah. Okay.
That was a good one. I like that one. You thought it was like a no brainer, but we had to think that one through. I like it.
Indeed.
Matt, it's your turn.
Okay, so I got to make sure we get this in because this is kind of a tradition
Oh no.
on who would win.
Okay.
The Lepus from Night of the Lepus,
Oh my God.
giant rabbits
One of the worst films ever.
versus the rats from Food of the Gods.
How many rats were there?
There were a bunch of them.
Well, now is it
You're
one
talking
lepus
like-
and one
Let's
rat?
say one. Let's say one on
against
one.
One giant rabbit against one giant
Rat. Yes.
They're about the same size too.
And about the same size,
Yeah.
yes. And,
this is
Well,
tough.
and we
a little
have
bit.
to keep in mind, too, that the Lepus, they're not just giant rabbits. They're angry giant rabbits.
Yeah, as you
They're
can
rabbits
see in the
that
movie.
taste for blood. They're off of
rocker.
broccoli and carrots. They
Right.
want human flesh.
Right.
Or animal flesh, let's just say.
Right. Right.
And I think a rat would suffice. So, what do you got? Now, initially, I thought maybe the rat would win. But then I thought, well, you got an angry rabbit. You've got the legs, the jumping, the ability to, leap over a rat and maybe get him from behind.
Yeah.
And the rabbit also has the kind of teeth that
Same
that
kind
a
of teeth
rat would
has.
have. Yeah.
Right, but
That's
bigger
true.
and meaner.
Yeah, they know. They,
And I think more formidable claws even than a rat. Rats don't really have too vicious of claws.
No, they have claws.
Well, they
and
have-
they are
they have claws.
and they are
they can gnaw and eat through. When they need to. They
and let me
can-
tell you something.
Gnaw.
They are fast. They
are fast,
Look,
yes.
yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying, "Oh, the rabbit can leap." That rat is fast. They're
Larry.
not slow creatures.
Larry.
Rabbits are not slow.
I'm saying rats aren't slow. They're fast.
So
I'm
ra-
saying rabbits. Oh, Matt's saying, oh, they can jump, but the rat is not slow. I mean, they're fast. They can
Unless
scurry.
they're big. Unless they're big, like
can-
sewer rats.
Yeah, they scurry. They don't really.
Yeah.
The rabbits are much faster than rats.
Rabbits are known. for
Rabbits
being
are
fast.
fast,
Yeah,
yes.
I think they're fast.
And the rats in Food of the Gods are just enlarged rats. They're not mutated or
not right. They're
Right.
just big rats.
They're-
I mean,
huge
Yeah,
rats.
they're not necessarily angry. but they get angry.
Haven't you guys seen that YouTube video of Pizza Rat in New York City? How that rat
Yeah.
takes that giant piece of pizza and he grabs a hold of it and he pulls it downstairs and pulls into his little hole. And people go, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea these rats could grab like a whole slice of," and it was a massive piece of pizza. It wasn't like a little piece. So that rat was pretty strong. I envision those Food of the God rats as being very powerful, very strong. And I see them scurry very fast. But this is a tough one, Matt.
It is a tough one.
Rats are
Although-
And
survivors.
the
even
rabbits-
I'm not entirely sure where I
right.
land on this one.
The rabbit was angrier and out for blood, and the rats didn't. Like you said, just seemed like they were regular rats. They were just enlarged.
Yeah, who did they really kill in Food of the Gods? I remember them being.
they went after for some people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
some of
did.
the characters they kill. Yeah,
But I
but they
mean,
were
but-
like in hordes.
but it was a lot of them.
Yeah.
One rat on its own, I'm not sure if that
Yeah.
would be enough.
I guess what you're saying, it all comes down to the Food of the God rats. They're doing what rats do.
Right.
The difference is the lepus is an angry rabbit.
Oh yeah.
It's angry, like what Bobby was saying. So there's this killing instinct.
And they cause a lot more damage in the film, at least.
Yeah.
You see a lot more damage. by them.
So, as much as I dislike the film, I'm going to lean towards the lepus.
I think me too.
I go with Lepus.
The rabbit. Yep.
Yep.
Wow,
Oh my
she
God,
knows.
the Lepus won.
This brings us together.
And yes, and just for listeners, don't see the Lepus. It's not.
you can't say that.
Yes, I can.
I've
It's
had
feel
many
the
hours of
Lepus.
enjoyment seeing that movie.
maybe you know what? Maybe if it's Easter time and
yeah, watch it at
and
Easter.
you have a few cocktails, perhaps
Yeah.
maybe you have it on in the background.
Is it
or
on
something.
Blu-ray yet?
Yes.
It's on Lepus Ray.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Bobby.
Uh-oh.
How about your turn?
All right.
Give us a good one. Who would win?
I don't think. Well, this is an easy one. I think.
Well,
Back to Universal Monsters.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Bela Lugosi's Dracula versus the Invisible Man.
Claude Rains, Invisible Man.
No, that's a good
Right.
one.
Wait a minute.
That's a good one.
What other Invisible Man was there?
Vincent Price.
Vincent
Yeah,
Price.
played him. in-
Vincent
Wow.
Price, well,
You call yourself a horror fan.
The Invisible Man Returns.
Yeah.
He played.
Yeah, no,
Vincent
I'm talking about
Price.
Claude Rains.
We're thinking Claude Rains.
Yeah,
That's what
okay,
I.
the original.
That's
the original. That's a good
I
one.
want to say they're
Get
both. But how does this work? They're both in a room with no
Yes.
accoutrements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just in a room.
So Bela
It's
Lugosi
also
goes in there.
supernatural versus science again.
Right.
Oh.
So,
But that can work to a stalemate at least,
yeah.
I think.
But I mean, Dracula would have to get a hold of
Okay.
of the Invisible Man first.
Yeah, it would take a while, I would
Yeah.
think.
Okay, they're both in a room. Dracula's here.
Yeah.
Invisible Man's there.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. So logically, what do you think? Let's talk this out.
Yeah.
Let's talk this
Okay.
out.
Okay. Well, I didn't really think about it. Okay. First of all, if there's nothing in the room, Invisible Man doesn't have much to go with. He doesn't have anything, no steak to get him in the heart. He has no garlic. He has no crust. He has.
Does he have any? Does
don't know.
no? I'm asking you, Mr. Brilliant Universal
had
Guy.
it, then he
Listen,
wins.
no. Does the Invisible Man? Does he have super strength?
No. Invisible
He's
Man
just
is-
invisible.
He has a little bit of extra strength, though.
He's
but
starting
he has
to go a little crazy.
He has insane
too.
strength.
Yeah,
insane,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But also, do we know, as far as Lugosi's Dracula, as portrayed in those films, does he have any kind of sense of, like, can he hear somebody's heartbeat nearby? Can he smell? Can he sense the blood nearby? Like, we don't know.
They never talked
But
about
they
that.
never
No.
talk about that.
Yeah,
So I
like-
I feel like that should be off the table.
The thing with
okay.
Lugosi, the only way he could get people is if you look him in the eyes.
That's right.
That's true.
And he
That's right.
hypnotized him, and then he.
What
bit him
about
on the
this?
neck.
What about this?
Right.
What if Dracula, we know that he can become a wolf
But he never.
And a bat.
Well,
And a bat.
and a bat, but he also can become a wolf, I believe.
He didn't. Did
in
he?
the movies, yeah,
Did
didn't
he?
he?
But in the Lugosi movie, he did.
If we're going Lugosi movie,
Did
wasn't-
he at the end? Toward the end, did he become a wolf?
I thought he did.
I think maybe he did.
Okay, well, let's say he could. He becomes a wolf, and now he's got wolf ability,
Right.
so he can smell.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he gets the scent
But also,
of the Invisible
not
Man.
only that, but how would Jack Griffin, if he got a hold of Dracula,
How would
if
he
he didn't
kill
have
him?
a stake, how would he kill him?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
You guys said that they're in a room. Once again, I throw out the law of you could use a piece of the room. You could get some of the wood from the room. Now you'd
if
have
it's
to.
right,
What do you
or-
take
or
the bed, the legs from the
floorboards
bed,
or something?
Yeah,
saw
it's
and cut him
very MacGyver.
okay. And I will say
and
this.
whittle a steak.
Now, before we get any letters or emails from Andrew,
Letters?
can I talk from people going,
Dear Monster Party.
Lugosi, he couldn't change into a wolf. Okay, well, let's say we do know he can change into a bat. And as the bat can smell blood. Now, here's the funny thing. If the vampire or Dracula, not a Dracula, it's Dracula, if he turns into a bat and it's like, now I can smell the blood of this guy. Now he's small. He's a little winged creature. And the Invisible Man could go, aha, now you're a size that I can grab and destroy.
Right.
What would happen if the bat started to fly by and then all of a sudden the Invisible Man grabbed him?
He would change back into a human size.
Well, I mean,
If he had time.
Well,
Yeah.
like what? Like at the drop of a hat? Or
Yes.
but if the
Because he
Invisible
does
Man,
that. He
well,
does,
listen. If he grabbed the bat really quickly and like broke a wing,
Nah, wouldn't
No,
work.
oh.
Supernatural Bing.
no, I'm just saying, if he broke a wing, wouldn't Bela Lugosi turn into a Dracula and go, oh, my arm, my arm?
But Griffin might be smart enough to be able to trap him. Like if it was a room with a window, to be able to sort of outsmart Dracula until the sun came up and then open the blinds, something like that.
And if it's a room with a window and it's a 4-paned window, then you
yeah.
grab the wood from the you break the glass, use the wood from the 4-paned window, and then you stab him with it. And see, that's always the thing in Dracula movies where it's being able to get the jump on Dracula so you can get him in the heart.
Right.
And they always do that thing where, you know, you get him right when he's just about to wake up, and they put the stake in, but then he wakes up and he stops you. And
I thought you were going to say you take the wood pane in the shape of a cross.
you could do that too.
And holds it
You could
up
do that.
to-
Well,
right.
but then you could that would be great because then you could use the cross to kind of subdue him,
Right.
and then use the other side of it to stab him.
But
Right.
you got to remember also, the Invisible Man has to know these things about killing vampires. A lot of people
That's
probably
true.
never ran into a vampire.
That's true.
They never met vampires before, so he doesn't know how to kill this guy.
Okay.
He's not going,
As
I got to get garlic, I got to
scientist,
get a
he's
mirror,
like
I got
locked
to get
away,
a cross,
yeah.
I got to get a, sunlight. How do you know this?
He's because he is in the Universal Monster stable.
So
So,
they
as
know.
a scientist,
know.
he's heard about all these things that have happened with the Frankenstein monster
I-
and
yeah.
Dracula
Yeah, I
and
can buy that.
Wolfman.
And also, look, he's not some regular Joe.
Right.
He hey, I drive a bus every day. He is an intelligent, scientific guy.
Right,
So
right,
I'm
right.
sure he's heard the stories of, Dracula, vampire. Oh, what do you need to kill that? Oh, it's this and this. That's what I think. So
being a scientist, he's pretty bright, so he could probably figure out a way to kill Dracula
Even
if
though-
the tools are
What
there.
about this? What if you were able to at least keep your wits about you and your, what would you call it, your will, that you actually allow Dracula to get a little bite of you, but it's a diversion, and you use that because you're invisible. You can do a lot of stuff with your other hand.
But would
Right.
your blood be invisible, or would it start to bleed out and you would see that blood?
I would think, I don't know.
Or-
I don't remember that.
or-
Is the blood also invisible?
Or the other thing
don't
is
think so.
the Invisible Man could do something like, because he's very smart and he's very articulate, what he could do is he could play this game where he goes, all right, Dracula, you have found me. And he starts to go through some monologue. And Dracula falls into listening to this scientific monologue. No, bear with me. And the Invisible Man says, I'm going to let you suck my blood because I don't value life anymore.
I want to be part of your evil
So all of a
family.
sudden, Dracula bends down and he bites the Invisible Man. The Invisible Man just lets him suck the blood. And then all of a sudden, the sun starts to come up. So in other words, it was a ploy. The Invisible Man was using this time to pass,
Well-
as waiting, knowing that the sun is going to kill Dracula.
Well, a very important part of this then is, does the room have a window?
Let's say yes.
So, yeah.
Let's say this
Most
room.
rooms have a window, so I think that's an okay
I
given.
mean, this one doesn't, but
no,
it
they're
does.
there.
Oh,
They're
okay,
just
okay,
covered
okay.
Yeah.
because
Although taking off from your kind of fan fiction there, Larry, Griffin was so megalomaniacal that it would almost sort of make sense for him to have Dracula bite him in the neck so he could be immortal, not only invisible but undying.
Especially the state that he's in at that time, that the invisibility serum
Oh,
has
that's-
already started to affect his mind.
Yeah.
an invisible vampire.
Yeah.
oh my God, how frightening!
And by taking his blood, then Dracula would become invisible as well.
Oh,
You know what?
Yes.
my!
That just blew my mind.
I'm going to blow it again. I just thought of this. Dracula can also become mist. So if he can become mist, he could fill the room, and
mist.
then he would see the Invisible Man.
right.
But in the Lugosi Dracula, that doesn't happen.
No, I think you see I think it's referred to.
I think
though.
it's referred
Is
to.
it?
And I
Okay.
think you should, because it count like Son of Dracula. He turns into
Right,
mist.
right,
You know, I
right,
think
right,
I think
right.
you can count it in the canon of.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Well, in
But-
that case, then yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, you bring up a really interesting thing, James. That is like mind blowing. So it's like if he goes, "Yes, go ahead, bite me. I don't care," and all of a sudden it's like they break apart, and the Invisible Man goes, now I am going to be a vampire too.
Well, I guess in this case, it would be a draw.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a draw. That would,
win-win.
well, in the monster world, yes. But I don't think it would be a draw though.
This is a tough one. The more I think about it, the more I analyze it, I'm thinking, oh, what about this? What about this? And James brought up this really great thing.
And the mist, nothing. Unbelievable.
The mist thing is a big factor.
That is a giant
Yeah.
factor.
Well,
If they were fighting each other, then that would be a decider, I think.
Yeah. 'Cause
Look,
that's-
Decider.
Look,
Did you hear
they,
James?
They do that in the movies too.
He's
where
the
they
thinker
get
of the
fog,
group.
They get fog and smoke, and they're able to see the invisible. That's
I'm
used.
just-
And Dracula has been around for ages.
Right.
So
Right.
he is way more intelligent.
Right.
I don't care how smart the Invisible Man is.
Well, I think he's smart with his one thing. He's so
Yeah, he
obsessive
knows
about
invisibility,
one
and
thing,
that's it.
But he's not good socially with people.
he knows other things.
He goes to the track, so he's
Yeah.
good at gambling. But
Okay,
that's good.
so
I got it.
Okay, so
Let's do the vote.
Bobby, who do you think would win?
I was thinking the Invisible Man at first, but definitely Dracula. He's been around forever. Supernatural powers, the undead. And the Invisible Man was kind of losing his mind a little, even though he was brilliant.
The longer he is,
Yes.
His mind was a little very unstable, so I don't think he was thinking correctly and thinking straight, like somebody who hasn't slept in a long time. So I don't think he was very logical.
Right.
And I think Dracula, like Matt said, had been around for so long, would have outsmarted him somehow.
Sean?
Yeah, I think
Dracula.
Dracula too. I mean, I think it can go a lot of different ways, but I think ultimately Dracula.
Yeah, James gave me something to think about, but I'm gonna go with my original thing. I'm gonna go with the Dracula. James?
I think the mist decides it. I think that's the clincher for Dracula.
Dracula, Mist,
All right.
in your face.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Mist. That's great. Okay. Well, Sean,
All right. Okay.
you ready?
Yes, I am.
Give us a good one.
I think this is a pretty good one.
All right.
Okay. The car. Do you know about the car?
Oh, you love
Yeah, I know the
Christine?
car.
No.
The car versus Christine.
Who's the car?
The car.
Not my mother, the car.
The Car was a 1977 film about a black sedan that was just like came out of nowhere. And it was
Car
kinda
from
like
hell.
Evil incarnate.
Before Christine.
No driver.
Oh, really?
It was just, yeah. And it was like a supernatural
Car.
car, and it was killing people. It couldn't be stopped. Versus Christine, which is a supernatural car that can't be stopped. And I don't know myself in this one.
Sean, could you remind me of some of the things that the car can do? Because we know everyone's really familiar with Christine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the car, I mean, basically it's in this desert town, and it just kind of shows up and starts running people over. And James Brolin is the sheriff, and he starts investigating, and they just try to catch this car. It drives through fire, like it does this thing where it's going really fast. It turns and flips over other cars, and then gets back up and goes.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, they can't damage it. They can't really do anything to it. At the end, it goes off this cliff, and there's just like this huge ball of fire. But then at the end of the movie, like the end credits, you see that it seems like the car has been reincarnated now in a city. It's still around. It's like it came back somehow.
Okay.
It's a very mysterious thing. We don't really know a lot about.
And you can't see inside the
You can't
car.
see inside.
Yeah.
You don't know if there is a thing inside driving or
I
not.
didn't see the movie. I can't really comment on this. I didn't see the film. Did you see it?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
But just through Sean's recap here,
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's-
think I've got it.
And of course, you know more, James, as far as Christine, about what's behind that thing. I mean,
Well, I love the book. You know, it contains a reincarnated spirit of its original owner. In a way, it's almost like The Shining on Wheels.
right.
It's
But it's
definitely
actually
very
then it's literally a possessed car, possessed by a human spirit,
right.
right?
Right.
And,
But that possession is able to do things to the car that you wouldn't expect just the same thing happening to a haunted house.
right,
Right.
right,
In most haunted house movies, unless we're talking about burnt offerings,
right.
the spirit doesn't rebuild the house.
Right. But
right.
but Christine can regenerate, right?
Right,
It gets
exactly,
crushed, it can
yeah.
kind of go back into its regular form.
Yeah.
So for me, I guess because the car seems to be evil itself. It's a supernatural thing that's not possessed by anything earthly. It's like literally
a car
it's
demon.
out of hell.
Yeah.
It's a demon in car form. And since
Yes.
Christine is still kind of has that earthly connection because it's possessed by its owner, I kind of am going to go with the car.
So overwhelmingly
Because it's like,
supernatural.
and it can, nothing can stop it in a way.
So it's evil incarnate? Too easy. Too easy.
Now there is one.
You win the home game.
There is one weakness with the car is that at one point it can't go on sacred ground. There's people running from it and they hide in the grounds of like my church and it can't
helps.
drive into the thing. I don't know if Christine.
That would be more of a stalemate, I would think.
right.
Now in this case, it wouldn't be a room. It would have to be like an arena or
Sure,
something. The
sure.
cars would
Right.
battle.
What if you took like a hose filled with holy water and just shot it at the car?
I don't know.
They never tried that.
Because never really see the car regenerate. I don't think, but whereas Christine you do. So I don't know. I don't even know if you can really do damage to the
Here's
car.
my take, which is that with Christine, you've got the possession and you've got a car that was actually made in a car factory.
Right. It was right.
It was not, it was made by human beings.
Plymouth.
Yeah. And you have this car that when it gets damaged, it regenerates, but it takes a little while.
Yes.
True.
It's a little more sensitive of an evil car entity than the car is. The car is just this unstoppable force. You can't see behind the glass. It almost seems like it's never even damaged at any point in the movie. Right. And so I go with the car. The car is, as you said, it's
also
evil
bigger.
incarnate.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah.
It's formidable. It's bigger. It's,
It's,
And in that like final fiery explosion, you kind of see or sense like a demonic presence in the fire. So like it's like like it is kind of like a demon on wheels.
yeah, I go with the car.
Yeah, I think me too.
car.
Yep. Car.
James?
Car.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey. Nice one, Sean. Although you did such a great explanation that I felt like, oh, I didn't have to like I dissect it.
Another dumb one from Larry.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Okay. How about from 1956, The Mole People?
All right.
Love those creatures.
Remember the Mole
Of
People?
course, very well.
Okay.
Versus
Love the mole people.
from 1960, A Morlock from The Time Machine.
I like that.
Good one.
I like
Two
that.
subterranean creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can't see very well.
Right.
Yeah.
Not in the daytime.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I think. All right, I'm going to go because I know both those films very well. The Morlocks to me seemed a lot more fierce and battle-like. They wanted to eat you. The mole people,
They're slaves, really.
yeah, they're slaves and they're underground, and they didn't bother anybody until we invaded their world. They were not. I think
Right.
the Morlocks were much more aggressive and warriors.
Because the Morlocks enslaved the Eloi, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
But the mole people are ferocious, though. Those claws, and they
Yeah.
can claw right through
No.
dirt ground.
Yeah.
No, you're
That's
you're
true.
way off. You're way off on this one, Bobby.
No,
Mole people?
Because the mole people armor plated,
Oh, wait, you know what?
claws,
Right.
and when they get mad,
Right.
they can be pretty ferocious. Now you've got the Morlocks who they've really never had to defend themselves because they lorded over this community of sheep, human sheep.
Good point.
And
Yeah,
the
okay.
first time
Good point.
the most effeminate of Eloi just barely punches it.
Right.
Blood right out of the
You're right.
nose.
You're right.
Down.
You got a good point. Okay.
and let us not forget, when you look at the Morlocks, they've been living pretty well. They're a little pudgy around the waist.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Well, 'cause, yeah,
and,
they've been
and look, let's face it, the mole people, they're eating rather healthy mushrooms.
True. Yeah, superfood.
So exactly.
true.
So
They also can band together pretty quickly.
Yeah. And Morlocks,
Yeah, good
really
point.
their strength is in numbers.
yes, I think if you threw one mole person in a room with one Morlock,
Right.
my feeling is the Morlock might seem more terrifying to the mole person at first, but I think the strength goes to the mole person. So personally, I think that the mole person would defeat the Morlock.
Yeah.
You both changed my mind very quickly.
No, actually, yeah. I think now.
If you put it that
about
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James?
Mole people.
And they're more resilient too, I think, because they when they were enslaved, they were whipped and they were treated horribly, but they still survived, and
And I think just as a physical presence, just their appearance, they would actually scare the Morlocks.
Yeah.
right.
So you like that one, huh? Not stupid, huh? No, pretty good.
I
Pretty
was
good.
one that turned out to be stupid on that one because I really thought the Morlocks, because I just saw the movie recently, but I've never seen the Mole People in a long time. But now that you mention it, Matt, yes.
I will say this about the film from 1956, starring John Agar and Cynthia Patrick. It is kind of a fun film. It is neat, and it has. Do you remember the neat little modern dance that they do?
I do, yes.
People
Yeah.
and there's this terrifying thing where they're putting people into this chamber that's going to burn them or something, and
Yeah.
that freaked me out as a kid when I saw
I've got to
it.
watch that again.
And I'm hot for pale chicks.
Yeah,
so.
everyone, because if you think about it, all these people that live under the ground, I mean, they never see the sun.
Right.
So something is kind of wrong with the woman who has color. Like,
Yeah.
what's,
Yeah,
Right.
what's her deal?
Yeah, but it's still it's a neat film, and there's this tragedy at the end. But I'm not going to go into details because I think you should see.
I'm going to
it.
watch it again this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Plus,
right.
All right.
There
All
we go.
right.
Mole
So
people.
we're all good here.
And
Okay.
John Agar and Hugh Beaumont make for a great action team.
I'll say.
Fun film.
Leave it to mole people.
James?
All right. The Goonies.
Oh, get out.
The kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Versus the kids from Willy Wonka. Put them in a room.
Well, I know who I'd like to see defeated. That's easy. Oh no, it's got.
I don't think this is easy.
The kids from the Willy Wonka would win because Veruca Salt is just cunning little bitch. She's gonna figure out what to do. And
Well, but
take care of it.
but isn't she gonna like demand that the other kids do the work for her?
well, yeah, but she'll
and that's
think of
not
a
working
way
together as a team.
No,
those
no,
kids
it
in
doesn't
Willy
matter.
Wonka.
Yeah.
If she wants what she wants, she's going to find a way.
I think you're onto something because all those kids are bad.
Okay, no,
brats.
okay,
They're brats.
okay. Here's their flaw in your plan here. What you're saying is you have a bunch of kids who are bad who will not work together as a team. They're all going to try to work individually. Whereas the Goonie kids,
How do we know that? Bad people work together all the time.
It would take them a while, though.
These,
But if they had to
these
fight-
kids, Veruca Salt. Hello, you know Veruca
Have you ever heard
Salt?
of the Nazis?
I hated both those movies, so I'm not going to.
Willy Wonka?
Come
How do you hate that movie?
Gene Wilder.
Yes,
Yeah.
you hated it.
Oh my God.
Come
You know
on.
what? My daughter made me watch it so many times, and it just,
So watching it like 50 times, that's what made you dislike it. Not the first time when you saw it for the first time, it's like, oh my God, it's magical. I want to live in I want an Oompa Loompa. I want to live in a candy
You
place.
want an Oompa Loompa?
No,
What are you, Veruca Salt?
What a terrible person you
No,
are.
I didn't mean it like that.
Who
I
else
mean,
would you want? How?
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
No, but I think also
terrible.
But I think Charlie's a smart kid too.
that
Augustus
smart.
would probably just like sit around and wait for.
He did,
He would eat the kids. Augustus would eat the Goonies.
See,
my money is on the evil kids all the way.
No, James, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say, as much as I dislike the Goonies, I think the Goonies would work together as a team, and I think they would defeat easally the
I can see that.
the
Now,
see
if you
that.
threw the children of the corn in there,
or
It's a non-starter.
yeah,
The Village of the Damned.
Then you're done. Then it's
then
done.
they wipe them all out. That's true.
But I'd like to know what you think.
You know, I'm on the fence because I was going with the brats just because they're so much more selfish and aggressive. But Larry, I see your point. The Goonies would cooperate, and for strategic purposes, I think they might have an advantage that way.
Don't we remember the great scene in Gladiator where where Russell Crowe says, "If we work together as a team, we survive." And that's how I see the Goonies working together, and because the other kids
Of all the movies that you
Veruca
actually
Salt,
know a quote from.
Veruca Salt would actually she'd
Okay.
yell at the other kids to do stuff.
No, look.
Violet would yell at the others
Before the
and-
Goonies had a chance to even band together, Veruca Salt would hit somebody back of the head with a brick. Done.
yeah, right.
Done. Dead.
And you know what? Charlie is smart enough to be able to rally the other brats.
No,
That's true. I
no.
think he would be able to do that.
No.
Yeah, I think he's a born leader.
Yes.
No, he'd be the guy they'd send in, or he'd go in first, and he'd go like, "Look, guys, maybe you should just give up."
and the Goonies would kill him first. That's
Meanwhile,
how
he'd be
I
a
see-
diversion. Veruca Salt
No,
coming up
no,
behind
no.
them.
Suddenly it's Lord
with
of the
a sledgehammer.
Flies.
Okay, so look. Okay, you want to get to an answer? Okay, I think the Goonies kids would overpower
Okay,
the Charlie
that's-
Chocolate Factory
That's
kids.
cool.
Okay,
That's cool. I'm thinking-
Sean.
I'm gonna go with the brats from Wonka.
Okay, Matt.
Brats.
James.
brats.
Bobby.
I'll do anything to keep this moving along. Sure. I agree with you about the Goody kids.
Hey, all right.
Teamwork.
All right, how about this? Anthony from The Twilight Zone. It's a Good Life.
He's come up before in other.
yeah.
okay.
I love that character,
Yeah.
Yeah,
played
yeah.
by Billy Mooney, versus a Telosian from Star Trek, the original series, The Cage.
Oh,
Now, Bobby,
wow, that is
Telosian
genius.
is an alien,
Right.
and they capture Captain Christopher Pike,
Right.
and they create this fantasy world because they want to keep him happy.
I saw that one.
Right.
Yeah.
And so these
Yeah, yeah,
big-headed aliens,
Yeah, yeah.
They can read your mind and create in your mind a completely different world, and you're interacting with this world, not
Yeah.
knowing that you're just standing there in real life, just almost like dreaming it.
Yeah, and even when the Enterprise crew tries to save Captain Pike,
Right.
they've got a big laser and they're trying to get into the Telosian's lair, and they've been firing this laser for ages. They don't even know that they've already broken through.
But they can't see to them.
They can't see it.
What they see is they've done no damage
They've done
whatsoever.
no damage
And they even say,
whatsoever.
"Ha-
Turn
do
it
we
up.
do
Turn
we
up
do
the
anything?"
laser.
And the guy says, "That's what I'm trying to tell you. We may have, we just can't see it." And
Right.
if they go up to try to touch it, they may think in their mind that what they're touching is it's solid metal when it was actually blown away. That's the power of the Telosians.
And so that's
a
why I
great
thought
one,
this
Matt.
might be a good matchup, because with Billy Mooney, Anthony is able to recreate reality in any way that he wants to. He can make his own TV. He can create little creatures just out of nothing.
Right.
And he can turn people into Jack in the Box and then get rid of them and wish them out in the cornfield. So how do you defeat a kid like this? Through illusion. You are able to fool that kid into thinking.
I would think, yeah, if you get the upper hand on him.
But all you need is that illusion to get the upper hand, because if you remember in the Twilight Zone, there's the guy who's saying all this shit to the kid and telling everyone he's a monster and yelling at him.
Sneak up behind him.
Yeah. Come up behind him. And even when he's saying that, the kid's attention is focused on the guy who's saying all these horrible
he's still
things
just a
to him.
kid.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a very bad man. So if you had an illusion where in the kid's mind, everything's great. Everyone's worshiping him. They're watching TV. Everybody loves little Anthony. And that's when you come up behind him simply with a brick or a shovel.
Or, can the Telosians actually do physical harm with their minds?
I remember they were able to do like a little kind of a psychic.
They could make you do anything.
They could cause pain.
But they can also cause pain in your head.
Yeah,
right?
look,
I don't know what the extent of that is.
They could create a real poison and make you imagining that you have a giant turkey dinner and a glass of wine.
Right.
And then, this is delicious, and you drink your wine, and it's actually
Wasn't there
poison.
also, didn't they also have like a psychic thing that they could do to your brain where you would feel pain in your head?
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't know the extent of that. That could be to the point where your head explodes. I mean, they just are doing it to kind of torture the...
But if you did that to Anthony, I would think maybe he would be able to, because he has all these powers, counteract that in some way.
Maybe.
See, part of me feels like my first gut reaction is, let's face it, Anthony is a child. He's got, to quote Spock, two-dimensional thinking, okay? Yeah. The Telosians have been around forever. They know every trick in the book. Once they plop down on the ground, it's like magic. They can instantly put in his mind, Anthony's mind, that we'll do anything you say, when in reality it's something else.
And they're a wiser race. They've been
they
around.
They can create environments, and of course there's the pain thing, but I don't even think they'll have
they
to
would
get
not
to
even
that.
have to use that.
No, I think that instantly, Matt, they would create an environment for Anthony where he thinks he's doing all this stuff, and actually it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
And they could create an environment where he thinks he's eating. He's eating food, but he's always hungry. He's always hungry. And actually what he's eating is actually nothing. I mean, they could literally starve him to death.
But I would think that just hitting him in the middle of when he's having one of these wonderful
fantasies. How did they get
fantasies.
rid of him, by the way? I forgot the end of the Twilight Zone.
They don't.
No.
That's the beauty.
And what happened at the end?
Well, they just go on with
It's
their lives.
left.
They all give up.
And it starts to snow. Remember? It starts
And
to
they
snow.
and you're going to ruin all the crops. But it's a good thing that you did that.
It's a real good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Matt, my first thing was, wow, that is a great one. Who? But as I start to think about it logically,
Now it's not great?
No, it is great. No, Matt, it made me think. Come on. And I'm thinking about this is a really good one. I do think the Telosian has the knowledge and the wisdom to overpower Anthony. So I think this is a good one, but I go with the Telosian.
Me too.
Telosian.
Yep, I agree.
Absolutely, because I still think that they should have hit him in the back of the head with a brick.
Yeah.
In real life,
That really would have worked.
And plus the fact that when he was sleeping, they could have got him, and it would have.
Yeah, somebody had to try that.
Yeah.
And I think eventually that's what happens to him.
I wish that would happen to me right now.
Look, we only got 9 more rounds. You're going to be great.
We did 2 hours.
Yeah. That's what we normally
and you
do.
know,
It's fun, though, right? You
But
have a
this has
good
been
time.
great.
It was fun for the first hour and a half, yes.
Okay. Well, what do you say we do a lightning round?
Quick, we're like,
no.
we're just going to say
it's
them.
gonna be quick.
We're not going to debate them.
It's gonna be a quick, huh?
All right, go.
You next. You.
Give me one.
Just one. Right at the top of your head.
I'm out of them. I can't think of any more.
What, you gonna do your Nike Skechers thing again?
No,
Come on.
Okay. All right. Go, Sean.
All right.
Okay, Rodan versus the Giant Claw.
All right. Rodan.
Why?
Because more armored.
But the Giant Claw has a force field around it.
Oh, well.
You have to forget of how goofy and ridiculous the Giant Claw is. And
Okay,
think
Giant
about
Claw.
what's-
All right.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Mine was kind of like your orb thing. How about Vincent from the Black Hole
Okay.
versus the flying orb from Phantasm?
Oh, really? Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Once again, Vincent,
Yeah. James?
armored.
How about Mr. Hyde versus Jack the Ripper?
Oh.
Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde.
Why Mr. Hyde?
Mr. Hyde is stronger, more evil,
Jack the
and
Ripper
yeah.
was just,
Yeah.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
And-
kind of like pure evil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whereas I
right.
think Jack the
Right.
Ripper has to be more sneaky.
Right.
And maybe mentally ill.
Yeah.
And Jack the Ripper had a thing for hookers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Okay, ready?
Jack
Yep.
the Ripper versus Frankenhooker.
Ooh, I love it. I just want to see it. Ben Grimm, the Thing,
Okay.
versus Igu from the Herculoids. The rock ape.
I have no idea who any of these people are. I'm done.
Yeah, I like that.
There we go. Stalemate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so because
Stalemate.
Igu's bigger,
Yeah.
but he can't really kill.
Less marbles.
Yeah.
Although Ben Grimm's no genius either.
But yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
This has been fun.
great.
Guess what? It's almost over.
Bobby, thank you so much
hours.
for
Wow.
Bobby. Thank you
what
so
we
much
do.
for being with us. I
Yeah.
mean, we've covered a lot of great stuff.
The past ones you've done, you're 45 minutes and like, oh, I got to walk the dog, or
Yeah.
I got to. I have to get up tomorrow and work the farm.
I'm getting another dog just so when I come back next time I can get I got to get out of here.
So look, but I know you're a busy guy. Is there
Got anything you wanna
is there
plug?
working on? That you,
Anything you want to plug?
No,
you gonna be in?
You're doing shows coming up in the.
I have nothing going on. Go to BobbySlayton.com. There's not one thing. If I had anything to do, would I be here for 2 hours? Nothing to do.
Listeners, find something for Bobby to do so he doesn't have to come back.
All
Bobby
right.
Slayton Memorial Podcast Room.
All right, well, that's
it's
it. Let's have a toast.
A toast to Bobby Slayton and who would win?
I got to get out of here.
Okay.
Time for listener shout out.
Shout out!
Shout out.
Shout out! Shout out! Shout
It's shout out. What are you saying? Shout out. Shout out.
This goes out to Brian Jennings from Narragansett, Rhode Island.
Brian
He's
Jennings.
the proud owner of a Monster Party t-shirt.
Somebody's wearing it right now.
I think it's
Everyone's doing it.
this could be the second or third time Brian's bought our swag, so we might.
out.
For all I know, he's gotten shout out before.
Cool.
But thanks for your purchase once again, Brian.
We
And
love money spenders.
also shout out to another repeat shout out to listener Fred Barringer from Connecticut.
Fred
Cool.
Barringer.
Fred had listened to our episode with William Stout, and he took a moment.
He listened to it with William Stout?
The episode with William Stout.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's
Maybe.
buddies with
I don't know.
Stout,
I don't know
for
how
all
close they are.
Yeah.
No.
But he was kind enough to send us a little note on Twitter. He said, "Love the episode, guys. I think you should ask William to do dinosaur renditions of each of you. What dinosaurs?
It's going to be expensive. What doesn't work cheap?
What dinosaurs do you think would match your characters? And what do you think
That's interesting.
the others would choose for you?
Velasa Weinhold.
No, you would not be a velociraptor. No. You'd be like
I'm chunky.
no,
yeah.
you'd be like Ankylosaurus, you know.
What? Get out of here.
You know, that has kind of the rock on its tail, and you know, kind of.
You know, you'd be a trilobite.
no.
What do you envision for yourself, Larry?
a triceratops?
Okay, why?
No, I do see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Because I'm happy eating grass.
Triceratops
you
are
know,
happy?
And I've got those. Yeah, they're happy.
When have you ever eaten a vegetable?
I always eat vegetables. Chinese food, broccoli. I eat the
Oh,
broccoli.
okay. No, you do the broccoli. Okay.
What about you? What would you
Yeah,
be?
what's your dinosaur?
I think a brontosaurus.
I see that.
I can see that.
I see
Like
that.
noble.
Yeah, noble.
You know what Sean would
No
be?
bull. Give me any bull and I will step on you.
No, you know what Sean would be? A pterodactyl.
There
Really?
you go.
Yeah.
Why,
I
why do you
see
say
that.
that?
Because, you know, they're kind of thin. And they kind of fly and soar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
very-
guess that's free.
great metabolism.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
With a bad liver.
Wayfish figure, weak bladders. Oh, liver and bladder.
All right, Fred, thank you for the question. We
Yeah, that's
appreciate
cool.
that.
Thanks. That's a good one. I
Yeah.
like that.
Let's also remind our listeners you can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Monster Party TV. Ooh. And by the way, all of our episodes do stream for free on YouTube, but going back to our earliest YouTube posts, you can see actual Monster Party custom videos.
Oh my God.
Including
help
videos
us.
from Comic-Con, specials that
Oh,
we
yeah.
did on Planet of the
that.
Apes.
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And a documentary on our trip to Japan.
Oh, it's such a great video. If you haven't seen it, you have to check it out.
Yes, if you like the show,
It's life-fulfilling.
It is wonderful. We had a great editor put it together. It's great. If we
Cool.
do say so ourselves. And you can also find us on Twitter at Monster Party HQ. Our Instagram handle is Monster Party HQ, and we are now on Spotify.
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 Wow.
I don't know what that
We've-
is, but we are on it.
We've made it. It's an audio platform that all the kids are using.
Oh,
That's what all the
Kids.
kids are using
Yes.
these days.
You know,
see?
iTunes?
Yes.
It's like an iTunes.
Oh, cool.
But it's hip and now.
And that's the thing. I think young kids today, they're going to go, what is this Monster Party podcast?
Is this some
all
sort
about?
of crazy rap?
Yeah.
And it's so not.
No, but-
except
but-
for that one time.
You know, but we speak to the young kids.
We do,
you know?
don't we?
And they love it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This show is aimed at the kids.
No, it's ain't. No, it's
now generation.
It's everybody. It's everybody. There is enough stuff in our podcast for everyone, young and
true, yeah.
old.
Yes, it's got something for everyone.
We've heard from youngsters in their 40s.
Youngsters.
And
youngsters
early-
in their 40s.
and even late 30s.
No,
going back
no,
that
no.
far.
We've heard from people in their 20s, sir.
Indeed,
We have.
Indeed,
That's
we
true.
have.
That's true.
And I've had young kids say, "Gosh, you guys are hot."
That's a lie. That's a flat out lie.
No. That is not a
Nobody
lie.
said we're hot.
No, they said that you guys are on fire.
I think they
They
mean
didn't
hot.
say that either.
I think they mean a hot microphone where you speak too close. And it's hot. It's hot. Tone it down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're cold fresh. Did they say that?
Also,
Whatever that is.
Monster Party swag can be found on our eBay store, which is Monster Party Store. Easy to remember. Go check it out.
Get them, kids.
Fringe 'em.
And if you're listening to us on Spotify or iTunes, please take a moment.
Or Google Play.
Or Google Play, yeah.
What? There's another one?
We're even more kids.
We are all
Kids.
over the place.
What else do you want to hear us on? And they said, Google Play,
That's how they talk.
The Gen X's.
Google Play.
Well, wherever you're listening to Monster Party, please take a moment and write a review. We would love to hear from you, and chances are we'll read it on the air.
Yeah, do we have one this time? Did someone else say something about, oh, Larry, I love it when you're ooh, ah.
Yeah, because you know,
Chicka, woo,
if I
woo.
remember correctly, didn't you say that for the next show you're going to go ooh all the time? Weren't you going to be doing that? Because I don't remember hearing one ooh during this entire show.
Larry, you don't just take violin lessons and then go and hit the Philharmonic, do you? No, you got to work on it. You
No,
gotta
no,
practice.
that is true.
How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Ooh, ah. You got to work on it.
It's
It's got to be organic. I got to study you.
You gotta-
I got to get your pacing. I got to get your timing.
We've done over
your
135
insecurity.
shows, so I would think that by now you would know how I do this.
Just starting to pay attention.
All this
Still an
time.
enigma to be
All this
cracked.
time.
Yeah, but now I want to be it. So I'm getting the body language.
You got to get the nuance.
Yeah, the
It
rage.
starts with a.
It has to do with sincere. No. See, you are so faking it. You are so faking it. That's not. Yes, it is. That is. See, that's not sincere. That is so not sincere. That is. See, okay. Oh. Let's all make funny noises now. Let's all make fun of my noises. Is that what we're doing?
No, you know what it is?
No,
I'm-
it's because it's real. It is
I am
real.
doing. You know how like a singer does the scales? I'm doing the Larry scales.
Well, why? Are you, what?
yeah. Go.
Okay, see, this is stupid because I don't even sound. Do I sound? I don't sound like that. I think anyone,
head you do.
yes, in your Matt Weinhold fantasy world, Larry sounds like a gorilla up there. Ooh,
Oh wait, no, let me get that. I got it. No, it's not. It's not quite there.
No,
I'm gonna get it though. I'm gonna get it.
But you know what is there?
Do tell.
What is there is, you remember our unpaid intern, Kevin Smith?
I do, yes.
Do you know
Yes.
that he has this great company called Sea Demon Vinyl that he created with the lovely Michelle Olivier?
That's
and
right.
if you
I
go,
love them,
if you
and I love what they
yes,
do.
If you check out their Facebook page, go to Sea Demon Vinyl, you will check out their great figures that they've created, and these are rare, and they don't make many of them, so they're not
they
going to
don't.
be for sale for very much longer. But you can
Already collector's items.
exactly,
Yep.
and they look great, creepy. He's working on some more things, so if you go to their Facebook page, click on, hey, let me know when your next one's out, and then they will send you that information. But they still have a few left over from their first 2 runs, so check
Get
out
'em now.
Sea Demon
Seriously.
Vinyl.
Totally.
And I think you're just going to love them. Anyway, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors at Creature Features. Creature Features. Look, guys, they are still selling a ton of stuff on eBay. Look, go to creaturefeatures.com. Go to their website, and they have a little box that'll take you directly to their eBay store. But if you check their website, it has all kinds of information on these events that they're holding. So it'll give you all the information. Check out creaturefeatures.com.
Totally.
Also want to give a special shout out to Time Tunnel Toys. Time Tunnel Toys, located at 1583 Meridian Avenue in San Jose, California. And Joe and Sharon have a fantastic store filled with all kinds of vintage toys and records, comic books, Star Wars figures, Godzilla toys, Transformers, kitschy black velvet paintings, all kinds of neat stuff. Yes, and even the Keep America Strong Watch Horror Films framed picture. Just go to their website, Time Tunnel Toys, and it'll give you all the information. It'll also give you information about their San Jose Super Toy Comic and Collectible Show.
Hey.
It's a convention that they have about every 4 months, and this convention it's huge. 200 tables with all kinds of vendors selling all kinds of vintage toys.
When are we going?
We've got to go
should
very
go.
soon.
You know,
we have
they
to
have
go to this.
a very special guest at a show I think that's upcoming. Karen Allen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, wow. That's
We should
impressive.
go.
That's huge.
And hang out by her table.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Maybe we can get her on the show.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, wow. And we have some exciting news also.
Exciting news.
What could it be?
Yes, well, this is something that we've posted on our social media, so some of you listeners may know about this already, but we have actually, as Monster Party, have done our first movie commentary.
Yes.
We haven't.
That's right. Of course, I'm sure many of you know about Shout Factory and Scream Factory.
You know you do.
Yes, we have many of their Blu-rays and DVDs, and they are coming out with The Vengeance of She.
The Vengeance of She.
Vengeance of She. Now,
Hammer
what
film.
is the Vengeance of She?
This is the 1968 sequel to Hammer's original She with Ursula Andress.
Called She.
Yeah.
She.
And this is The Vengeance of She, which is a sequel, kind of like a sequel.
Yeah,
to
it's
the
a
original.
sequel.
Sort of, but not really.
Yeah.
Well,
but kind of.
Well, it's a kind of an extrapolation on
Yeah.
the original
Yeah,
She.
extrapolation's a
You
good
should
word.
you should see She first before you check out The Vengeance of She.
Yeah.
that's my 2
But I
cents.
think you can I think The Vengeance can be seen on its own.
I think it
as
stands
well.
on its own.
Yeah.
Sure. Especially
But,
with our commentary.
That's true.
Yes.
So this is a brand new Blu-ray coming out from Scream Factory, and it's coming out February 26th. So, and this has Monster Party doing the commentary on this film.
So you got Blu-ray. You have our commentary.
Yeah.
You've got gorgeous color. You've got beautiful women. Adventure.
Scream Factory.
Yeah.
It's everything you can
It's
want.
everything that you need
Yes.
in your life.
And this was our very first commentary.
Yes.
First
And,
one
you know,
out of the park.
We
right.
weren't 100% sure because we'd never done one before, but we had a good time.
Yeah, it
we
was really fun,
enjoyed it.
actually.
And if you get this and you listen to it and you like it, let them know that
Let
hey,
them
I'd
know.
like
right.
those Monster Party guys to do more of these.
You know what they say? It's like every email or letter is like 1,000 people. So if you actually take the time to contact them and go, we love those Monster Party guys on The
Right.
Vengeance of She, they should do more movies
In fact, as a
with the
matter of-
word she in it.
Yes, as a matter of fact, watching that movie with their commentary, it made the movie that much more better. It
Yeah.
was great.
And there may be even more Monster Party commentary coming your way. You never know.
You never know.
Never know. I do have a little piece of sad news, though. Just recently, we lost Julie Adams, who was the star of The Creature from the
Yes.
Black Lagoon. Julie Adams lived to be 92 years old. She had an amazing life.
Yes.
And she had an amazing career. She did well over something like 50 movies, a ton of television. She worked with the likes of Elvis and Frank Sinatra. And
Just great in everything.
yeah, and I've heard stories about when she was first given this role of the creature, she wasn't excited about it, but she said, heck, I'm going to do this film. I'm going to give it my all. And let's face it, this is the thing she'll probably be remembered for. She embraced it. She loved it. She would do these autograph shows with Ben Chapman and Riku Browning, and it was always great to see her. I was able to take my wife and my daughter to meet Julie Adams for the first time, and we've met her several times, and she was kind enough to take photos with us as Monster Party. She gave us a shout-out, and she was a lovely, lovely lady.
Always sweet, always a class act.
Very approachable.
Yeah. Just pleasant, friendly, and a delight.
So I'd like to raise my glass and give a toast to the lovely Julie Adams. We love you, and you will never be forgotten.
Yay, Julie. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And play your own home version of Who Would Win. Just get a bubo, a phantasm ball, and a room full of meat.
Larry, are you coming?
Come on, Larry.
All right.
What is this? And now, just when everyone's ready, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm in my 50s. You never know when it's going to happen.
Isn't it weird as we get older,
like one of those
you
commercials.
just have to go to the bathroom more?
Tell me about it.
Tonight's topic?
At my age, it's frightening how much I have to pay.
No, I know.
It is frightening. My prostate's fine. We should talk about that.
It's weird. It's like
What's scary? Let's talk about that on Monster Party.
Best and worst prostates.
Who would win?
Your willpower or your bladder?
Hey, my wife, the lovely Carrie Weinhold, just entered.
How are you?
hey.
Yay! Whoa! Hey! Oh! He loves our house.
I love the house. Love it. You guys got it. I
For a second.
but it's beautiful. The floors, I'm shocked how good the floors are. And you guys must be, my first, how many square feet is this, do you know?
2,580.
Is it
Damn!
Really? It's 2,500 square feet. My first house, and I had my daughter and my wife in the house, was, I think, 1,200 square feet and 3 bedrooms. You know how small that is? So it's like your apartment, but maybe a little bit bigger. But
Little, yeah.
this must be this is like a mansion for you guys. Isn't this great?
It is
Palatial
a mansion.
estate.
I can yell at him. He's so happy he can't even hear me yell.
It's so great. And the backyard looks like a set from a sitcom. It does look like a real backyard.
It's really cute, minus the chicken coops.
No, but you should call the tiki bar the chicken shack, just in memory of the chickens that lived there.
Have you told Matt that yet?
Yeah, he didn't.
Did he not laugh?
You know what you should do? Is
I
you
make
like
the
it.
decisions.
You
We're
should
gonna
make
put this
make some
chicken shack.
mutant chickens, like some
Well, that was
fake
more of a
chickens.
Black Barbecue Blues place.
Yeah, it's like that's we'll have it right next to the tiki place.
Right.
We'll have a old style R&B
Fried chicken fryer, outdoor fried chicken
there'll be a
fryer.
fish fry and Louis Jordan and the
Right.
Tiffany 5 will be there.
Yeah, you have to have that.
Thank you for the compliment. We're super
Oh, it's a great house.
excited about it.
Great.
Thank you.
So great.
Good share.
And the street's beautiful. This is great.
The garden, did you get to see the garden?
It's great.
outside?
Yeah, it reminds me of the neighborhood I lived in. Because a few blocks away, it wasn't so nice, but our street was gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. Rape murder.
Wait.
The corner of rape and murder.
Well, look. Hey,
You have people next door. They have the alarm system, the gates.
And like 5 kids, and like their house is like 5,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's the
alarm
look.
system.
Escobar Juniors.
You don't have to go far
All right,
any
let's go.
place in this
I
town.
go to sleep.
He wants to start. One thing I need is my
This
list.
person got stabbed 2 blocks away last week.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that happens all
where
the
you go?
time, everywhere.
Now where you go?
Tonight's episode, stabbings.
We could do a knife episode. Tonight's episode,
Knives?
knives.
That'd be good. I like that.
Knives.
That Ed Gein dirt would have been perfect in here. It would have fit in great.
You guys want it?
Dirt.
I've dirt from Ed Gein's grave framed.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's great.
I don't know. That's a little much for me.
Why? It's real
you?
monster. It's a real monster.
I think you got to take her right here.
You know, the only real monster I want a little bit of water from Loch Ness. That's what I want.
That's stupid because that's imaginary.
No, it's not stupid. It's totally logical.
There's no
How do you know? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a
Aliens-
scientist?
aliens
Have
put
you
it there.
gone and you've studied the water? And
Wait
and-
a minute, Larry. Scientists have studied it. Yeah. There's no monster. No monster.
that they could find because
Oh,
the water
please.
is
Really?
too dark and murky.
No,
You know there's
sorry.
no monster. I know there's a monster, but does Nessie know that there's no monster?
Oh, you got what was that from?
And you know,
no, that's a little paraphrasing
the fact that it's been
Abbott
there
and
for
Costello.
hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And there's,
But does Dracula?
and there's no family of monsters by now. That one monster. Can we just start this stupid show?
Yes. Okay, let's do it.
You remember how we do this?
Yeah, I'm going to let you start. Then
Yes.
And then you'll come in when
I'll
you're
come in.
babble, babble, babble.
I have some things to tell you.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Well, this has been great.
What are you doing?
I was just saying this is going to be great. Let's do another round.
Are you good? Are you good, Bobby?
We didn't even get to my
How long
choice
we
yet.
been here for?
Oh, that's
Oh,
wait.
Wow,
Well, we
long
went.
time.
We went. We went
We
around.
started with him.
Yeah, we started with him. We
So
went
no-
around.
No, we didn't. We went
No,
back
no,
to.
I'm next.
No, I
He's
know.
next.
I know. John.
What are
is
you
next.
doing?
How are you doing? You doing okay? You
I'm
holding up
falling
okay?
asleep, but okay. I'll be
Well,
fine.
No, we're gonna do-
see. I was trying to think about our guest.
We've been going for an hour and a half already.
Right. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll do another round, but let's because we started with
Bobby.
With Bobby.
Yes.
Bobby, is it? Bobby. So we will do. We'll finish this round.
Yes.
And then we can, if you
Do a
got
lightning
something,
round.
if you something really fast you can throw out, then do that.
Okay.
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 I was thinking the Beatles versus Dave Clark 5. I have that magazine on my wall. Dave
Always.
Clark 5 would win. There's 5 of them.
That's great.
It's true.
Well, Sean, I believe it's your turn.
Silver Beatles.
Oh yeah.
Stu Sutcliffe.
Oh yeah. But there was 5 of them when Stu was in the band?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are all
Kids,
over the place.
What else do you want to hear us on? And they said, Google Play.
That's how they talk.
Gen X is.
Google Play. Google Play.
No matter where you're listening to us, please take a moment and write a review. We would love to hear your comments, and chances are we'll read it on the air.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just start that again clean?
That wasn't clean?
No. We fucked you.
Yeah, we were.
I am so
we
sorry.
muddied you.
You
I
were
thought
perfect.
you were going to use that. That was
That-
gold.
Well, I'll use it for the extra
okay,
fun things.
Time Tunnel Toys. It gives you all kinds of information about their store and stuff that they're doing, especially their San Jose Super Toy.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Larry, do me a favor and start again clean.
Okay.
I also want to give
I
special.
love this. Go ahead.
I was trying to help you. I was trying to be nice. I wasn't trying. No,
have to
don't
restart
pat me on the
completely.
shoulder now.
No,
No, I wasn't.
He knows.
This was not a power thing. When you started, we were all blah, 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 blah,
No,
blah,
but we'd
and-
like
and-
it to be a power
and-
thing.
And if you were sincere, I would say thank you for being sincere.
He is
I
now.
was making fun.
Having a cracking wise.
Having a funny.
Yeah, having a little funny.
Having a
Monster
fun.
party.
I know, I understand, and perhaps on this round, maybe what we could do.
Just shut the hell up.
No,
and let you speak.
we could try not to hog the mic. Sometimes some of us here may feel like they need to hog the mic, and
Wow.
some of us here need that little space where
Larry,
we can.
you don't hug the mic that much. I wouldn't
Yeah,
worry
it's okay.
about
You
it.
don't have to apologize.
Yeah, it's okay, Larry.
We forgive you.
You're among friends.
Yeah.
I also want to give a special shout out to our friend. It's a good thing I didn't say Rod Sirloin.
Can you say Rod so?
The Sea Demon Vinyl should do a Rod Sirloin.
Oh yeah,
I think that would be really cool. I think.
like a steak, like a raw
Steak
with
coming out of a
cigarette.
suit with a cigarette. Yeah.
You know what? It'd have to be kind of a pseudo sirloin. Not look quite like sirloin.
It
or
could be. It would.
sir-
I don't think it would have to necessarily be a sirloin. It could
Yeah.
be just a steak.
Maybe a flank.
No, it could be a sirloin, but not Rod Serling. It couldn't be a Serling face. It could be a generic.
No, it's just a
Oh, you're
suit
talking about
with a steak coming out of the collar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a
Rod
big slab of
sirloin.
meat.
Oh.
Smoke with a cigarette.
I see. Okay, well, that's...
And maybe you could even, maybe it'd be kind of fun to give him the hair.
Yeah, it'd
yeah.
be fat. It would be the edge of fat.
Oh, that's good.
You know how on a
I like
sirloin,
that.
you know, they
Yeah.
have-
I have to make
Yeah.
it like in black and white.
Yeah, great.
No, it would have to
Great.
be pink
It would have to be pink. Yeah.
or red.
It would have to be. Yeah. It would have to be meat
Rare.
colored.
Oh yeah,
Variants.
that's true.
Rare.
Variants.
True.
Yeah, and you squeeze it, and like blood comes out of it,
Or it could be glow in the dark.
or actual meat juice. You can
No.
fill it with meat juice.
See, what is this fascination about you and filling things with meat? You've mentioned
Do
this.
you really want to know?
Well, maybe I don't.
Or maybe you do.
No, I don't.
Come into my meat room.
No, I don't want to go in the meat room.
Now I want a
cold.
meat room.
It's too... Can you imagine though? Don't you like it when you go to the grocery store and they have all these sections of meat? You know, and you
I
look
do.
and you go, ooh, look at that sirloin. Ooh, look at that sausage there.
Now, I know that people are vegans and vegetarians, and that's wonderful. And
That's
I
great.
know that it's good for your health and it's good for animals and the environment and everything. But I'm telling you, there's a sense of joy that I feel when there's a steak that's cooking. And especially if it's got that little edge of fat and that fat gets just incinerated. And then I eat. That's my favorite bite is I take a nice little bite of the meat and get a good little chunk of that fat. Oh my God, that's heaven
Really
to
juicy.
me. Yeah.
Juicy.
Do you know what I like to do is if there's like if we get a little steak or something, before I put it in the pan, I make the little noise like it's the steak and poltergeist crawling along the counter.
I forgot about that.
I love that.
I do like that
What
scene.
I mean, that is a great.
I actually
scene.
do like
I
that.
know it freaks out a lot of people. Oh my God,
No,
it's a
I like
crawling
that.
steak. Can you imagine?
That's one of the two scenes that I enjoy in that movie.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Is the chairs.
The chairs.
I love
Yeah, chairs is great.
You don't like the guy in the bathroom when he's pulling his face apart?
Nah, I don't care.
You don't like that?
It's fine.
What's wrong with
It's
you?
just-
The chicken leg with the maggots?
That's the chicken leg,
Chicken leg, yeah.
Yeah.
the hard-boiled egg, good chicken leg.
But even the face thing it's okay, but it's not like it's all that original.
What?
And then
What?
the rest of it,
It is original.
yeah, okay. This I do kind of like in the movie. Mm-hmm. When it's what is it? Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
He's doing it before, after, before, after. That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good gag.
You know, he's had a great run.
He has.
Did you guys see the latest Incredibles 2?
No, I
did
still.
not.
It's
I gotta see it.
terrific.
I hear it's great.
It's terrific. He's just great doing the voice.
I love the first one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, me
if you
too.
like the first one, I think you'll love the second one.
I'll check
it's
it out.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but a ghost just closed our door.
Been haunting me for years.
It's a very sexy ghost.
I'll say. She's a ghost in all the right places.
Matt,
Yes, James.
remember last summer when we went to G-Fest?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Yes, I do.
That was last summer?
It's coming back to you now, isn't it?
Yes. Oh,
Wasn't it fun?
it was fun.
Oh,
Did we mention G-Fest?
G-Fest, the Godzilla Festival, the
Yes.
Kaiju Con.
Yes.
It's held once a year.
In Chicago.
It comes but once a year.
Yeah.
Just like Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of our Christmas in a lot of ways.
Oh,
it was wonderful. We saw a bunch of our fans.
Yeah.
We met new people.
We spent
met
way too much money.
Oh, way too much money. And we saw some great costumes.
Yeah.
But the audio that we brought back, I think, is the most special thing.
Oh, wow.
Listen to it now. Here we are at the tail end of G-Fest.
G-Fest winding down.
And we're in the back now where they keep the kaiju costumes that people walk around in. And it's nice to see sort of the, the behind the scenes of it. Wouldn't you say, James Gonis?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's those costumes hanging up, and I guess they call this room the Dojo Studio.
Wow. It's very exciting to see it all. And we are here with a friend of the show, friend of us, Matt Dakota.
Hello.
And Matt, you have a number of costumes here at the fest, but I have to say they are really kind of my favorites because I'm a giant Ultraman fan. And please tell our audience which characters you came to the fest as.
We did Pigmon, we did Baltan Sajin, we did Dada, and we did Ragon.
Great costumes. I mean, really, really accurate. And what got you to start doing this?
My son. He's 6 now. We started when he was 3 with Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper. And then my daughter, who when she was 2 was Mothra. And then we came to G-Fest 3 years ago for our first time. And my son saw the costume contest and wanted to do a costume the next year. So we came back last year and we did Ultraman and Baltan. And so then it just blossomed into what you see right here today.
Wow. Now, I've seen your son walking around, and that kid is a trooper. I mean, he really does.
The first thing that
He's right here, by the way.
gave me another.
Yeah.
They're doing an interview.
We're doing an interview right now. That's okay, though, because we have Sig, right? Right? Sig, who did you cosplay walking around? Which monsters, which kaiju did you play?
Pingmon and Dada.
Yeah, and you really, really inhabited those costumes and brought them to life. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my monstrous heart.
Thank you.
A great kid. And I know I was talking to you earlier about the podcast, and you said some very nice things about our show. Yes. And if you could share those with people who maybe are less appreciative, so we can get those people to really, bring it up a level.
Well, as a lifelong monster kid, it wasn't until I had my kids that I was really opened up in my adult life with it. And your show, you guys always talking about supportive parents and blossoming that next generation really opened my eyes. And that's where we started, is just right off your podcast. That's how the costumes started, conventions, monster. We do creature feature every Saturday night now as a family. It's fantastic. It's really, you guys have had a huge part in that. So.
Well, that is high praise indeed.
Thank you so much. Actually, I think one of my favorite Monster Party memories of all time will be when we were on the first night walking down the hallway, and I pointed to your costumes, and I said, Matt, did you see those? And Matt's like, hey, can I get a picture? And you're like, it's Matt Weinhold and James Gonis from behind this costume. It's like, whoa.
The voices, yeah.
Blew my mind.
Mind blown. Surreal.
If only that could happen every day in my life.
Yeah. If only I could wear kaiju costumes every day of my life.
How do we make that happen? Now, I've seen this wave of costumes. I love them. What do you got planned maybe for next year?
Well, I would like to do something more mech style or something we can sit in finally. And not.
Good idea.
I'm thinking maybe Jet Jaguar and Inframan.
Nice.
Every time I do a costume, I try a new technique. This year we did foam smithing and molding, casting in latex off of a sculpt. Next year I want to do a sculpt, but I want to try resin cast for like a Jet Jaguar helmet. Uh-huh. And more foam work, EVA foam work for Inframan's helmet. So that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see. We'll have to see what he says.
Okay. Now, you haven't been doing this that long, really, have you?
About 3 years now.
And you seem to be a natural. Like, the costumes are so good.
I've always done art. I've been a sculptor, painter. I used to show paintings in my 20s. And now in my 40s, as a dad, it's just natural progression. And it's more fun with the little ones now. So.
Do you take these costumes beyond conventions? Do you ever go to like a Pizza Hut and just hang out?
No, but we actually have been thinking about staging some photos back home at some of the supermarkets. We have some Japanese specialty supermarkets and restaurants and doing some stage photos. But we also do, my kids started making tokusatsu sets in the basement. And so we've been making our own little films down there.
Yeah, you showed me one of them, which I thought was amazing. And I love the buildings that are destroyed. Some top-notch work.
That would be my son here. My son and my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, their buildings were their idea.
Excellent work, Sig. You make some great buildings. It makes them for me so I can destroy them because... Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, it's such an honor to have a fan like you.
Yeah,
your show is fantastic.
Thank you so much. Now you were part of the costume parade last night, but I think I heard that you crashed it. You were not an official entrant.
Yeah, we were more of a skit where we crashed the costume parade and harassed the audience. So yeah, we walked through and did our little stage and dance. And
I wanted more harassing, personally.
We did speed it up because it got really hot for all the contestants in the hallway, so we did kind of go pretty quick so we could get everybody through because it was really hot in that hallway for everybody.
I just feel for you guys who are sitting there backstage in under latex and rubber and everything else.
The dojo staff that runs the contests are fantastic. They bring us water, fans, misting fans. They take care of everybody. You're not left out there in the dust at all.
They'll let you sit on a block of ice.
Not quite that far. Not quite that far.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you guys.
And we would love to promote anything that you're doing. So definitely send us some videos or something, and we'll put them up on Facebook.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll send it to you.
You got it. G-Fest!
G-Fest!
G-Fest!